wanna know why I didn't last 5 hours?
How do we take an unpolished room and make it...
All right, guys, what's up? Hey, guys, Brian Tong here with CNET. You guys have joined us on plenty of events. We're here to cover Sony's maybe PlayStation event. So in the house today, joining me is Mr. Donald Bell. He's going to be providing color commentary, you think? As much color as possible.
That's really what I'm here for, basically.
I know, that's cool. Stephen Beecham is in the house. He is our producer extraordinaire. Now, if you guys don't know much about Stephen, he controls the cameras, the audio, the switching. He talks in my ear, and he smiles.
Yeah,
that's a lot.
That's the main thing I do is smile.
I think that's really good, Steven. So, you guys here, thank you so much for coming out. We know we're expecting Sony to start off and kick off their announcement of what is rumored to be the next-gen PS4, the Sony PlayStation 4, at 3 p.m. Pacific Time, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. We have some of our editors, Jeff Baclar, Scott Stein, and Dan Ackerman, on the ground over there. So we'll be taking a call to kind of set the stage and see what is going on over in New York. Also, we're going to talk about what we expect to see, some of the things you've heard. Another big thing about this is all about you guys. You're going to help us make this show big. So we have a few ways you can interact with us. The first one, the one that I want you guys to do, is call us, all right? The number is 1-888-900-CNET, 1-888-CNET-2638. If you guys call me, call Donald or call Steven, I'm going to give you something. Do you know what it is? No? You're afraid of that? Okay. So give us a call there. Also, while we're having our conversations and talking about different topics, if you can tweet us at the hashtag CNETLive, we will look at those tweets. We will respond to them. We will incorporate them into the show. If your mom is watching and you want to be famous on the internet and said, oh, he said my name, Goofy245, I know you, Goofy. I got you, okay? So let's set the stage now and just talk about the Sony PS4. To be honest with you guys, I'm super excited about this. And the reason why I'm excited about this is that we cover so many tech events, Apple, Google, Amazon, and we already know what's coming from specific details and specs. This is the first time that, it's the PlayStation, it's a gaming console, but it does more than that. This is the first time we truly don't really know exactly what they're bringing to the table today.
Right, and it's also they're on such a longer cycle than an iPhone or a tablet or whatever it is. I mean, we're so used to covering yearly events for products that get refreshed every year. This has been 7 years since we've seen.
Yeah. 2005 was when they introduced the Sony PS3.
I mean,
correct.
We've been seeing the small incremental changes for the PS Slim and the Slim, but nothing major. And this is going to be the console that they come out with today. Hopefully, is going to probably be the console that we're going to be referring to for the next 7 years.
Yeah.
So it's a big deal.
Yeah, for all of you that are listening in right now or watching us on our multiple partners, whether it's CNET TV, Ustream, live stream, YouTube, your grandma's TV, we're going to bring it for you now. We also want you guys to call because I want to know what you're excited about, right? We have about 25 minutes before the announcement happens. We're going to let you watch that with us, and then after the show, we'll be back here to do commentary, take your calls, your reactions. But what do you at home really want to see in this PS4? What we're going to talk about, though, is some of the things that we've heard. Again, nothing is concrete. No one has come out with real solid evidence yet. But one of the things that they're talking about is that the PS4 that they announced here, again, it is before E3, the E3, which is the major game expo that happens every year down in Los Angeles, California, where a lot of times products have been announced. But here, some of the early rumors say that the PS4 is expected to be available sometime possibly around November 2013. They're throwing around price points that it could be released cheaper than the PS3 was. That this price point would be at $429 and $529. If I remember right, was it $599 that the original PS3 dropped at? I believe so. If I'm wrong, you can CNET Live hashtag me and tell me I'm a total idiot. But those are two of the things that we saw. But from just a visual standpoint, one of the things that really got people talking last week was an image of the actual rumored PS4 controller. Right. And
which is an iconic controller that hasn't changed much over years. And I mean, maybe a decade, since the original PS2, right?
Yeah.
It's been pretty much that same DualShock design.
Yeah. Do we have a picture of that? Or
Yeah.
Okay, so Steven's going to pull it off. Multiple blog sites were talking about this controller, and if you can see, it still has that iconic Sony PlayStation design, but what we have now here is it looks like up in that upper area some sort of potential touchscreen area, a la PS Vita, a la a lot of touch devices that everyone's familiar with, or it could also be not only touch, but a screen that could display more information. I remember back in the day when I played my Dreamcast, they had that little VMU unit, and when I was playing basketball games, you could see stats like your points, your rebounds, and assists as they were happening, and I thought that was really sick.
If you had the strength to actually hold up that controller.
You know the big chunky hands?
Deal.
Did you have big chunky hands? Could you do it?
No, sure, the medium size. I don't know. I don't want to go into hand territory.
Okay,
It's not like creepy off
We're not talking about hand size right now?
Not yet.
Okay.
We got a long time to go here, Brian.
Okay, you know what? We have Jack Baccalar on the ground at New York. We're going to take his call and find out what his impressions are. Again, you can call us at 1-888-900-CNET to ask us your questions. But, Jeff, you're up, my man.
What's up, guys?
What's up, guys? So you're in New York right now. Are you inside the building where this event is going to take place?
Oh, I'm in there, man. I'm inside. I'm sitting down.
Okay, so describe the scene and also kind of the energy and buzz around there, because I'm excited because we really don't know much about what's really officially going to happen. What are you feeling, and what some of your impressions and thoughts?
Well, the scene is much more low-key than it was outside. That's probably because it was 11 degrees outside. But inside it's kind of laid back. They've got some music playing, sort of like a purple stage with just a PlayStation logo. Very simple, very sort of low-key. And right now everyone's just, face deep in their laptops. Everyone's live blogging, doing their own thing. And we are doing the same as we speak.
Yeah, so, you've been covering, obviously, the video game scene over for CNET. You're one of our editor extraordinaires. And I kind of want to know from you, because you've been covering this so much, we see how competitive the landscape is with the Xbox 360 and the Sony PS3. What do you think Sony has to do here today for it to be a success in your mind?
I think they really have to come at it from all angles. Everyone's concentrating on their, extracurricular stuff like the apps and the connectivity and stuff like that. But what we really have to see from them is the game. This system is not really going to mean a lot to the core gamers without an actual solid, concrete list of games. So, I hope they come out with that first. I hope they make a convincing argument that, there's going to be games that you can play only on PlayStation 4 or whatever it winds up being called. And to me, that's what I'm personally looking forward to. I think we're definitely going to see a lot of stuff about what else it can do in terms of, content, even streaming and stuff like that. But again, man, first things first is the games. Yeah,
absolutely. Now, we know that the games are going to lure people in. When you talk about gaming, what else do you think they need to do with that? Because in my opinion, right, I'm a gamer. I own both consoles, all platforms. I like PlayStation Plus, but their online service, just from a reliability standpoint, just doesn't stack up to Microsoft. Do you think that's something they're going to address and need to address?
Oh, absolutely. And I wouldn't be surprised if they either, I don't know if they're just going to scrap Plus, but they might come out with something where it's an actual paid service, similar to what Xbox does with Xbox Live Gold. So don't be surprised if we see something like that. They kind of are in this weird limbo area with the way PlayStation Plus is set up right now. It has its perks, but people don't really understand it. So they might need to rebrand that and sort of go at it from an aspect of, look, you either do it or you don't, and here's what you get and here's what you do not get. So it'll be interesting to see, how they approach their online presence.
Yeah, and then one other question, Jeff, because I know you're really busy and everything. What about this whole rumors and talks of cloud games? They acquired Gaikai a while back, and everyone's been talking about this could be a new feature. What are your thoughts on the whole idea of streaming games from a cloud? We've seen it executed by OnLive and other services, but it hasn't really lasted. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, Gaikai does it the best, so we know that. And they know that's a good acquisition in that regard. Whether or not this is going to be something that is pivotal to the system, and, basically what I'm saying is they can't put all their eggs in that basket. They can't have some sort of service that solely relies on cloud streaming games, simply because there is a sizable portion of this country that can't keep up with high-speed, reliable internet. We're just not at that point on a nationwide level. So whatever this cloud streaming thing winds up being, there will be something. Don't be mistaken. There will be something. But how they roll it out will really say a lot about, the trust they have in their service and where they see their consumers and their level of accessibility. So I'm interested to see that. There's a lot of talk that PlayStation 3 backwards compatibility will run over streaming in some crazy MacGyvered way because, they can't play the old PlayStation 3 games because of a new chipset architecture. Yeah. We'll see what happens. I would be surprised to see no announcement with the cloud, but I also do not want it to be a main focus of this thing because we're just not ready for it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Jeff, thanks so much for calling in and giving us your thoughts, and we'll follow up with you. We can make sure everyone that's listening right now, they can follow up on CNET.com. We'll have a lot of written articles and video clips if we actually get our hands on some of the hardware that is announced. But, Jeff, thanks so much, bro.
All right, guys. Follow the live blog. We'll see you.
Okay, cool. You heard him. Follow the live blog. Okay, we asked you guys to call. We're not going to ignore your calls, so let's take a call right now. It looks like I have Robert here. Oh no. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna need someone to take a look at this because my laptop is not it's not responding right now. So can you take that call for us? Let's get Robert on the line.
Okay, so we have Robert on the line, and here we go. Here's Robert. Robert, can you hear us?
Yes.
What's up, Robert? How can we help you today? Thanks for calling in and hanging out with us.
Hey, thank you for letting me call in. I have a question regarding the architecture for the PS4.
Okay.
And we know that PS3 came with a proprietary Soul processor and proprietary NVIDIA graphics. I just wanted to get your opinion on whether you think the same proprietary nature is going to go with the PS4 and whether you think AMD, NVIDIA, or Intel are going to have a hand in this.
Yeah, so from the dev tools and kits that were kind of leaked out, it had been reported, again, this is not official stuff, but from what's been swirling around there, it's been reported that the PS4 will have an 8-core AMD CPU. It'll be running at 1.6 gigahertz, and then it'll also have a custom Radeon GPU with that system. I know for a fact that in the past, people had talked about the development and how it was so different from Xbox and just not as accessible early on that it made it difficult for developers. And because of its proprietary nature, I've got to imagine that's one of the things that they hopefully will address to not only help out developers make better games in an easier, expedited way, but also get those games into our hands. My hunch would be that they've seen that, they understood that, and they'd lean towards making it an easier platform to work with. But those are the specs that have been thrown around for kind of the power behind what the system will have, and it looks like they'll be going with AMD.
All right. Well, I appreciate it.
Okay, thanks for hanging out with us, Robert. Appreciate it a lot too. Okay, let's go to, we have Sandberg. He is calling and asking a question: a revolutionary or evolutionary? Sandberg, where are you from, man?
I'm from Massachusetts.
Hey, what's up? How's the crab out there?
Crab?
Yeah, Boston crab, Massachusetts. No, you don't like crab?
No, not really.
Okay. Sandberg, what's your question, man?
So I want to know if the PS4 is going to be more of an evolutionary update or a revolutionary update.
Okay. What do you think? What do you think,
What's
Donald?
my guess?
What's your guess?
Revolutionary. I think it's going to be evolutionary, and probably in some ways, from the feedback we've been getting on the stories we've been publishing on this, maybe not in the ways that are all going to be beneficial to the consumer. There's been some reports about not being able to use game content, possibly, if they're going to be locking out, disc access to be able to get your used discs on there, or having to fingerprint, games that you buy, so that you're possibly locking out the trade of used discs. The idea of streaming or the PlayStation or Sony Cloud's content, that could be something that a lot of users could be frustrated about. It's an evolution that's probably pointing towards the evolution of where gaming is going in general, but I don't know if it's necessarily going to be something everyone's going to be thrilled about. We're going to learn shortly. But a revolution, I don't know. I think Sony could definitely use a revolution of gaming. I think, I'm looking at both Sony and Microsoft, I think they're both these giants of the industry that have been taking a lot of hits over the past few years and not having a lot of hits on anything else other than their gaming consoles, and putting a lot of stock in those gaming consoles. I think Sony, maybe even more than Microsoft, needs the PlayStation 4 to be a really big hit for them. So hopefully they're going to put everything into it that they have.
Yeah, Donald's right on that, because we've seen how Sony as a company continues to do everything, but they've fallen behind Samsung from that overall consumer's electronics brand. Sony's TVs, which were really like the staple that reminded you of the Sony brand way back in the day, that has changed. Sony kind of used to be, way back in the day, the Apple of consumer electronics, and that as time changes and the companies grow, it changes that. So I think one thing, though, to really make sure that this is, whether it's evolutionary or revolutionary, the bottom line is everyone here is watching to find out, well, am I going to pay money for this? Is this good enough for me to plop down $400, $500? And I think one of the things that really needs to happen, if these are truly next-gen consoles, we've seen how great the graphics and performance are on these current-gen consoles, but what does a next-gen console actually look like, right? Am I going to start seeing someone's face that really looks like someone's face, or is it going to just be like a little bit improved textures? I want to see something that blows my mind. Right. And I think who doesn't, right, Sandberg? You got me on there. So, I think that that's what's going to be one of the things that they're going to have to do. And then on that next level, right now we have Sony and Microsoft really battling for these home consoles of being the digital home set-top box that stays in your home. Microsoft has done a really good job of that with all their units that have been placed out there in homes. I don't want to say incorrectly, but I thought there's somewhere around 40, 50 million units install base right now, but 25 million of those have a Xbox Gold membership that accesses that media content. Sony, on the other hand, they really try to siphon people because Sony's a media brand as well. They direct people into what they want to watch. And we know you have Netflix, we know you have Hulu on there and other platforms, but Microsoft is making deals with everyone, right? With all these different media partnerships. Sony needs to do the same and kind of get out of their it's all about Sony. So we'll see what happens from that level as well. So Sandberg, thanks so much for calling. Really appreciate it, all right?
Thank you.
All right, cool. Okay, should we take another call?
Sure.
Okay.
It's going well.
Let's go here with Brandon from Chicago. Brandon, Chi-Town, what's up?
Hey, what's going on, man?
Thanks for calling and hanging out with us.
Yeah, no problem. The thing I want to see on the system, man, I'd love to see all of the Sony games be able to play it on one system. I'm talking play Warhawk, play Kingdom Hearts, play God of War 3, and then whatever else is coming out, all on one system.
I think you're not in the minority there, right?
I would hope not,
What would it get you the most excited about this system, or just not even this system, just Sony's announcements in general? What do you think is going to get you juiced?
Honestly, I'm hoping, because I was a diehard Sony fan, and then when PlayStation 3 came out and 360, I had to flip the script, man. I went to 360 just because 360 was more appealing. It had better games, a better live, in my opinion. If PlayStation 3's network, or PlayStation 4, I should rather say, if they can fix their network and make it better, then I'll probably go right back. I don't mind paying for internet. That's just me. I know a lot of people don't want that; they want it for free. But if they can fix their system and their system updates, and they have something else that appeals to me, I'll probably go back to Sony.
Yeah, no, that sounds great. Thanks for calling, Brandon. I think that what you said there was a really good point, because for someone who owns both consoles, it's clear when my buddies say, "Hey, let's get a game to play online," we all get the Xbox version, right? That just tends to be the trend, and I'm willing to pay $20, $30. Geez, I'd be willing to pay $60 for a year if PlayStation really amped up their online service so that it was reliable and as responsive and the community on the Xbox. Oh my gosh, it is great. So thank you for that call, Brandon. We wanted to take a tweet now because we want to show love to our friends on Twitter, and I have a tweet here from Aditya Roy Chowdhury. Did I say that right? Let me know, okay? He asks, dude, impact on Xbox 720. Talk to me, good or bad, to announce before it. What do you think? What do you think, Donald? The chicken before the
It's tough, man, because you can come out and set the tone with your console that everyone's going to be looking to Xbox, to that Xbox 720 announcement to be able to answer to that same to the PS4 spec and everything the PS4 is going to be, but it's also kind of cool to have the last word, to be the last one that went on to show off their console. And I think ultimately, no matter what we see today, it's still going to come down to the games, and we're probably not going to see a lot about games. They're probably going to save a lot of that, a lot of those announcements for E3.
Yeah.
So we're probably going to get specs. We're going to get some fancy, flashy demo stuff. Probably going to hear a lot about how it's going to work in the nerve center of your living room and all that. All the other kind of entertainment-y stuff, connected stuff that's not game related. We're probably going to hear about that today. But really, the decision for whether you're going to buy it's going to be on the gaming front, and that's not really going to be until E3.
All right, let's take a call from Isaac. My man Isaac, you're up next. Where are you from, Isaac? Hey, Isaac. Isaac, are you going to do that to us? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, there you go. There you go. What's up, Isaac? If you could turn down the volume on your computer and then just listen to us directly on the phone, that'll probably be your best bet, and then there'll be no delay, okay?
Is this better?
Yeah, that's
better?
great. That's great.
Better?
Okay, Isaac, so what's your question?
Yeah. When do you reckon the release date will be out?
Okay, so, a lot of everyone's going to wonder this, and this is what I think, and I think everyone's going to agree here. I don't think we're actually going to see a price point or an official release date at this announcement today.
Sure.
They're pointing to rumors of fall.
I in Machiavelli, niggas.
What the heck? Okay, turn that guy off. Clearly, he spends way too much time by himself.
I think there might be some Tourette's happening there.
Yeah, but what we're going to say is that it points to sometime in the fall where E3 they'll showcase the games and more of the tech, but price point and date, we're not going to see it today. And if they do, I'll be shocked.
No, but you know that they're going to be competitive with whatever the competition is putting out there too. But yeah, I don't think I think the more interesting thing too, then Jeff Backlard pointed this out on his preview blog, is that this is the first time we're seeing a possible turnaround from both the announcement of the console and the release date of the console happening in the same year. Usually that historically has taken an entire year to go from the announcement and the demo to when we can actually go out and buy it. So fingers crossed that everything's going to work out as both Sony and probably Microsoft are planning. Yeah, and for those people that are watching right now, again, we want to let you know, you guys, the lines are locked up and full. I love it. You guys are just participating and being a part of this. You can call us at 1-888-900-CNET if you guys want to ask us any questions. We're about 10 minutes out before the actual announcement from Sony happens. One thing I did want to address is the fact that someone asked about what's better to be first or second in this whole announcement. A lot of rumors are pointing to the fact that the Xbox will make their announcement for the 720 or whatever they end up calling it sometime around March, which is pointed directly at GDC, the Game Developers Conference, which happens here in San Francisco. And why that's important is they've made announcements there before. In addition to that, that's, again, setting the stage for all the hype and the buzz to start up. We'll see these consoles more in action in June or July, and then these consoles will be available in the holiday season. So it makes absolute sense. We don't know for sure if that's going to happen at GDC, but I think if they could go either way, because it is smart to, no matter what, if they're doing it at E3 or not, to be separate, like have that time to shine, where right now everyone's talking about the PS4, right? There's not, other than the HTC One phone, there's not many other products people are talking about right now, just from the tech space world. So it's good to come out and just kind of be your own man. All right, let's go check out another call. This is coming to us from Tim in Memphis. Tim, what's going on, man? Tim, okay, guys, I'm going to give a quick tutorial for calling us. You guys need to turn your volume down on your computer once we take your call. What's up, Tim? Turn the volume down on your computer and then talk to us through the phone. There you go. You're good. You're gold. All right, Tim, what's up?
Hey, can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear from Memphis. It's good.
Okay, great. Hey, how are you guys doing?
We're good.
Okay, fantastic. Anytime a new console comes out, we always get a whole lot of hearsay. You know, we hear all these things, and it isn't until anything's official that we get things verified or debunked. And we know that when Xbox 360 came out late 2005, and then, of course, PlayStation a year later, late 2006, but the PlayStation had half the RAM. And that really affected it, where most of the games ended up being 720p as opposed to 1080p. And what I read, and maybe you guys can shed some light on this, was that initially there was 4 gig that was going to be in the new PlayStation, and then Xbox said, oh, we're doing 8 gig, and then Sony trumped it and are putting 16 gig of RAM in this system. It sounds like a rumor. I was just wondering if you guys had heard anything about this.
I mean, to be honest, with just the internal storage and RAM, I don't know what the official number is right now. You know, I couldn't say. You know, they've been leaking out the specs of the processor chipset that's used. You know, they were talking about how this PS4 might use or sport 4 gigs of RAM specifically, and it'll be ultra fast RAM for it. It's the GDDR5 kind of flavor of RAM. But beyond that, like you said, those, even a lot of products that come out just in the tech space, they don't always really reveal how much RAM it is, because they don't, at the same time, they don't want people to get caught up with like it's all about the RAM, although it's a major component of the performance and how these devices, roll out.
There's another good point here too, which is that as a consumer, unless you're like a hardcore gamer, it might be worth waiting a year to be behind and give both Sony and Microsoft a year to iron things out and update their console for the following year.
Well, well, Donald, I guess you're alone on that one.
Well,
over here.
I'm just saying. I'm chronically a late adopter on things because I like things to be nice and smoothed out, and then I can just enjoy the non-red ring of death experience on my console.
I experienced that twice, and I understand I think you took the right road on that one. So, hey, Tim, one quick thing. What would get you excited about this announcement today? What do you want to see personally, whether it's a game, a franchise, or just something about the new system?
Honestly, what would make me happy, I love the Sony machines very much. I love the interface and everything. I would really like to see a new controller. I like the Dreamcast controller. I like the 360 controller. I like GameCube. DualShocks, it's not bad, but it's symmetrical, and it's just the ideal thing for your hands. It's not as big, and if there's any one thing that it seems the vast majority agree on is that the 360 does have a better controller.
Okay, there you go. All right, Tim, well, we will see if that happens. I mean, all those pictures and indications right now show that it looks pretty much very similar with kind of some added features. It's a hand thing. I mean, I don't know. It's a hand thing. What am I talking about here?
Keeps going back to the hand, huh?
Beecham, what do you like? You've played with both. What do you prefer, Xbox controller or PS3?
I got to admit, I haven't played Xbox a whole lot, but PS3 controller is very comfortable. I have no problem with it at all.
Yeah, I almost feel because
Steven's all about the retro gaming, anyways. He played, and he's like original NES controller.
Yeah, I got the NES advantage.
You do got the advantage. I do feel like because just culturally from where these companies are kind of born from, the Xbox controller tends to be bigger. And it is nicer to hold, but Japanese people, the country have smaller hands, and the PS3 controller is for smaller hands. And I'm not saying anything about anatomy other than it's for smaller hands.
Well, another point to make here is that last year, over the past few years, there's been the whole Kinect versus PlayStation move as far as hands-free controlling. And I think we all have to admit that Sony didn't quite move the way that they expected they would. And that Microsoft, I mean, you can make the argument that Kinect is there's not a lot of great games for Kinect anyways, but in terms of that whole wireless, hands-free controller battle, Microsoft came up on top.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they at least had a few games that were really showcase the technology, like Dance Central. Oh my gosh, you guys played? Who plays? You know what? Tweet me if you play Dance Central. I'm gonna say your name. Mr. Rogers says, "Oh, I see blank and blank."
Is that the one that has the Star Wars dance-off Boba Fett?
No. That was really horrible. But CNET Live is the hashtag. You guys tell us what your favorite Kinect game was. What do you like? You like Dance Central? I don't know, but no, the Star Wars game did have a feature where they took Jason Derulo's song "I'm Solo" instead changed the words to Han Solo. So it's like Han Solo, I'm Han Solo, I'm Han Solo. If you know the song, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And it was just as bad as how I was singing it.
It's awful. I mean, your singing's wonderful, but I mean, the idea.
Whatever. Show me some love. Okay, let's see here what we got. We got on the Twitters. Anthony Woodhouse, I told you. Me! I play Dance Central. You know what? I'll put it up here. Sorry about that, Steven. We got to show them some love on the Twitter, right?
Right.
Okay. All right, also... You know what? Let me take a call so I can get my screen all linked up because I need to get this refreshed. And, this is just lots of fun because we're doing all these things, 10 things at once.
It's live, people. We have to fix stuff.
Okay, here you go. You can go back to my screen now. Okay. Stephen Davis, I played Dance Central.
Yeah.
Connor McEwen, Dance Central was awesome. Graham Sievert, love Dance Central. So far, 4 of 4, all guys, Dance Central.
Man.
Who said men don't dance?
They do it in the privacy of their own homes in front of a television so no one can see them with the blinds drawn.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, also just we'll touch another point. We'll take more of your calls, more of your tweets. If you guys have any direct questions that you'd like to tweet us, send them along to CNET Live. If you guys have any questions on the phone that you'd like to hit us up with and try and, test our knowledge or lack thereof, the number is 1-888-900-CNET. One other aspect of this whole announcement, and it is 3 o'clock right now, so once that keynote starts, we're going to jump directly into it. But one of the aspects of PlayStation's PS4 is the rumored, using cloud gaming and their acquisition of Gaikai. Now, they registered recently domains for something called the PlayStation Cloud.
Mm.
and everyone's like, "Oh, what is that all about?" And that kind of lends to the idea that maybe they will offer some sort of tiered service. Maybe this is going to be some sort of gaming service offered, but they're calling it PlayStation Cloud. Very interesting.
I don't know. I feel like it's bad timing for that. I already feel like the cloud is one of the most played out
word cloud,
kind
right?
of terms, and also just concepts that has fallen on its face over the past year. Where it's like, sure, you can put it in the cloud, but getting it back down to me or making the experience something fun or useful is a totally other thing. I think that's what Jeff was talking about too, which is just like, at least in this country, the actual infrastructure of high-speed internet just isn't everywhere you want it to be.
Okay, you know what? It looks like, hold on one second. If we're going to, it looks like the PlayStation event might be rolling soon.
All right.
Let's take a look in a second, guys. Okay, we're going to go to it, guys. Just enjoy the show, and we'll be back after. If you want to stay on the line, stay on the phone lines. But this is Sony's intro, and we'll see you after the keynote, all right?
You picked the wrong house, fool!
Wait, before you do that, just explain to me how it's gonna work. Oh, it worked. Jerry's a chicken.
Mustache man, your worst nightmare has arrived. One of these! Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Andrew House.
Good afternoon, and to those of you joining us from around the world, good morning, good evening, and welcome. It's a thrill to be with you here today. The stakes are high for what we're going to show you. Today marks a moment of truth and a bold step forward for PlayStation as a company, as creators and innovators, and as industry leaders. At Sony, we've always talked about our entire portfolio of technology and content, blockbuster titles, and successful entertainment franchises. Today, we'll show you how we're strengthening the PlayStation ecosystem through hardware, software, and network capabilities that, when unified, create truly magical experiences that can only be found in our world. We'll show you how we're making access to our content and experiences, social interactions and titles vastly more simplified and streamlined. And we'll show you the many ways in which the living room is no longer the center of the PlayStation ecosystem, the gamer is. With the gamer as the focal point for our efforts, we've created a platform attuned to consumers' changing behaviors and an evolving sense of play. Ease of access, regardless of location or device, has been an absolute priority. With mobility and the ability to share content and experiences becoming an increasingly important part of the gaming experience, connectivity between devices and the ease with which they connect has been essential to meeting the demands of today's casual or core gamer. Our vision for the future is consumer-centric, developer-inspired, and characterized by an unwavering commitment to phenomenal play experiences. These experiences can happen on a console or a handheld device, and we're meeting the demand for mobility with the most powerful handheld gaming system ever created, PlayStation Vita. In fact, the operating system and chipset inside PlayStation Vita is so powerful, we think it could bring significant value to gamers' living room experiences. We know the potential for expanding PlayStation Vita to the living room is real and promises to deliver amazing gameplay and multimedia. We'll be talking more about this exciting initiative later this year, but it's safe to say that we'll continue to unlock PlayStation Vita's potential. We're also focused on expanding the world of PlayStation content to smartphones and tablets via PlayStation Mobile. We've strengthened the PlayStation Network to offer more groundbreaking indie titles such as Unfinished Swan and the critically acclaimed Journey. And we're bringing more convenience and value to our gamers through programs such as Instant Game Collection and Day One Digital. Every facet of PlayStation will continue to become more powerful, and as you'll see today, remains at the heart of every new innovation we create. While our Sony heritage has long been defined by superb engineering and technology unleashed via powerful hardware, we also knew success would rely not only on a package of next-generation technologies, but on reconceptualizing how the next-generation gamer would want to play. While we once had changed the gaming landscape, now the consumer was changing us. From mobility to multi-format play to greater community engagement, as well as platforms designed to enable access to entertainment, social media, and more, the demands for a new platform were clear. Conversations with the wildly talented and ambitious minds found within the developer community helped us understand what would define the new and the next for them. We painted a picture of the future that would revolutionize not just the console, but would have implications across our entire portfolio of products. Our immersion into the gaming experience at every touch point resulted in a renewed passion for play and keen insight into the demands any new platform would have to meet to be relevant and extraordinary. Today, we will give you a glimpse into the future of play, a reimagination of the gaming experience that has been developer-led, consumer-inspired, and powerfully and thoughtfully engineered by Sony Computer Entertainment. It's designed to make accessing the content gamers love easier than ever. It's conceived as the most personalized gaming experience available today. It is, consistent with our heritage in gaming, delivering the most powerful platform ever. It is simple and adaptive with socially enriched content. Expect worlds to come alive with greater fidelity and intensity than ever before. Expect the best franchises to be even better. And expect powerful opportunities to connect and play and stay informed even when away from the primary console. This is the foundation of our next generation platform, PlayStation 4. Thank you. We believe that PlayStation 4 represents a significant shift from thinking of PlayStation as merely a box or a console to thinking of PlayStation as a leading authority on play. For gamers around the world, PlayStation is the best place to play. PlayStation 4 will unleash imaginations to create next-generation experiences that surpass gamers' wildest expectations, while also allowing developers to explore new business models that offer more flexibility, including episodic and free-to-play. Today, we are revealing the genesis of an expanding idea about the future of play, an idea with enough vision to lead the ever-changing landscape, and an idea founded on the conviction that we must give gamers the kinds of multi-dimensional experiences they not only expect, but quite frankly, deserve. Over the next couple of hours, we're going to show you what the new PS4 is capable of, what innovations it is bringing to gamers, and what central ideas and principles drove its development. You'll meet the minds who form the creative soul of the gaming community, who are pushing the boundaries of play. One of those great minds is the gentleman I'm about to introduce. At the age of 17, he joined Atari, and by age 20 had his first major design success with the arcade game Marble Madness. Future successes were many. He worked with Sega on Sonic the Hedgehog, served as president of Universal Interactive Studios, and was part of the creative team on such blockbusters as Crash Bandicoot, Jak and Daxter, and Ratchet and Clank. Now, as our lead system architect on the PlayStation 4, he has been able to harness the engineering prowess of Sony Computer Entertainment with deep developer insight to create a next-generation platform that sets a new industry standard. It is my great pleasure to introduce lead system architect Mark Cerny.
Thank you, Andy. Thank you for the warm welcome, and thank you all for being here today. As Andy mentioned, my role on the development of the next generation platform started about 5 years ago. At that time, we began to look at how the console architecture could free developers from painful technological limitations and enable them to create the game experiences that they'd always been dreaming of making. We also looked at how the whole PlayStation ecosystem could be evolved as well to allow the player to take a dynamic, preference-driven path through the world of content. So when we started this process, it was the early days of the PlayStation 3, which is to say, at a time of great transition in technology and how we use it. Every major console, all the way from the Atari 2600, which was the dominant console when I started in games some 30-something years ago, all the way up through the PlayStation 2, had pretty much been a single-purpose device. Insert the cartridge, the CD, the DVD, power it on, play your game. That's all they did, and that was fine. That was the world we lived in then. But at the time of the launch of the PlayStation 3, all of that was in flux. The world was becoming a connected place, and a single device was now expected to provide a range of services and applications. Now, PS3 has done pretty well in these respects. It's the top platform for Netflix. But as a console designed before this revolution hit, there are limits to the functionality that it can provide in this new world. In addition, since the launch of PlayStation 3, we've seen a proliferation in the number and variety of devices that people own and interact with. With so many platforms to support, much less value is found today in exotic technologies such as blast processing or a supercomputer on a chip. I'm proud of what we accomplished with Cell on PlayStation 3, but at the same time, the need to radically customize technology can interfere with the design innovation that's so central to game creation. So for PlayStation 4, while we knew that the core performance of the console would be vital to its success, the cross-disciplinary team that we assembled had several additional goals. For one, we wanted to make sure that nothing would come between the platform and the joy of play. When I think back to the launch of the PS1, there was a real fun factor that was an intrinsic part of the PlayStation DNA. The whole world was our audience, and we had a remarkable time evangelizing the message that gaming was fun. We also wanted to be sure that the system architecture could fluidly connect the player to a larger world of experiences and provide easy access to everything PlayStation has to offer across the console and mobile spaces and the PlayStation Network. And finally, we wanted to hear from developers. We spoke to dozens of the best teams in the world. We wanted to know what was important to them. We wanted to make them happy. Because if they were happy, we knew we could unleash the creativity and innovation that would result in a true next-generation experience. Our goal was to create an architecture that would facilitate the expression of their ideas. Now, we couldn't come right out and say in 2008 or so, what would you like to see in a next-gen console? We had to talk our way around the topic. But they knew what we meant, and their comments were invaluable in crafting these system specs. And we were able to create, in PlayStation 4, a platform by game creators for game creators. It is a powerful and accessible system. And it has a deep feature set to support the ongoing development and evolution of gaming itself. Now, the architecture that we chose is like a PC in many ways, but supercharged to bring out its full potential as a gaming platform. For the CPU, we chose the most familiar architecture on the planet, the x86, allowing us to tap into over 3 decades of programming expertise. For the graphics processor, we decided to use a highly enhanced PC GPU, something that would be easy to develop for in the early days of the platform lifecycle, but at the same time, a GPU with remarkable long-term potential. And for system memory, I'm proud to announce that we are equipping the system with 8 gigabytes of high-speed unified memory, both satisfying the #1 developer request for ease of game creation and also increasing the richness of content achievable on the platform. And this system memory is backed by the massive local storage that only a hard drive can provide. Overall, this architecture is designed to ensure that the very best games and the most immersive experiences will reach the player. Now, the next few demos are live, so I get the pleasure of sharing with you, for the first time, the new controller. And here it is, the DualShock 4. Thank you. So, during the development of the DualShock 4, we worked with key partners in the development community to enhance the feel of the joystick and the trigger buttons. The result is a much tighter sense of control over in-game actions. We also took this as an opportunity to enhance the rumble capabilities and reduce the controller latency. And finally, we added a few new features. A touchpad as a new form of input, a share button and a headphone jack to enhance social interactions, and a light pad as a light bar as a simpler, more friendly way to identify players. And this new controller was designed in tandem with a second peripheral, a stereo camera that can sense the depth of the environment in front of it and track the 3D position of the controller via its light bar. Now, this first live demo shows the payoff from the augmented PC architecture. This is Unreal Engine 4 from Epic, running in real time on prototype hardware. There's some very sophisticated technology here, GPU-accelerated particle systems and realistic transmissive materials with substantial subsurface scattering. And this is all running in real time. I can look around as the animation plays using the touchpad input. Not only do we have the power to drive this level of application, but we also have in PlayStation 4 an extraordinarily easy conversion path from the PC world. Now, as to how we accomplish this, PlayStation 4 is centered around a powerful APU that combines 8 CPU cores with a state-of-the-art GPU with almost 2 teraflops of computational performance. Putting CPU and GPU on the same die gives them streamlined access to a common pool of memory. And with PlayStation 4, we're taking an unprecedented step. For system memory, we're using GDDR5, the type of memory typically reserved for top-of-the-line, high-end graphics cards. This gives us 176 gigabytes per second of bandwidth and provides a further boost to the GPU performance. Now, earlier I said we were using a highly enhanced PC GPU. Principally, we've modified the GPU to make compute easier, which is to say, we've made it practical to use the GPU as a general-purpose computational device. This next live demo is a million-object physics simulation from Havoc. This is primarily running on the GPU, not the CPU. Tasks that can fully occupy the CPU cores will be achievable using just a fraction of the PlayStation 4 GPU. Overall, our goal has been to architect the system so as to support a breadth of experiences. I'm really looking forward to seeing how the development community will choose to use this tool that we've provided for them. Truth is, I'm making a game too. In my case, I'm focusing on that joy of play I remember so well from the early PlayStation days. So, here's a quick look at the title I'm directing.
War has come to our peaceful land. We must send our best to neutralize this threat. A veteran explorer, military might. Yes, Doctor.
I would like to make a small addition to the team. Behold my greatest creation, Knack.
Just go slow, little buddy. You'll be fine.
He looks a little delicate to me. Knack is capable of explosive growth. He will be invaluable in the fight against the goblins.
Knack, you're no human. Why do you work for them?
Victor's up to something. The next step of human evolution begins now.
The world is about to change, and he'll be the one who changed it.
All right, guys, so what we want to do just really quickly is they're showing some of that game demo. We're going to actually restart one of our machines so that the stream will come out a little more smoothly for you. But while we do that, we're just going to wait just for a few moments and just tell you, obviously, officially, the name of the platform will be the Sony PlayStation 4. I don't know if you guys heard it, but there wasn't much applause there. Like, yeah, I mean, but it was funny because, like, I was just saying on Twitter, at Apple events, they hire their own employees to clap and get crazy. Sony had like 10 people in the audience that must have worked for them clapping because all the journalists were like, okay.
All right. Well.
Also, they showed off officially their DualShock controller, the DualShock 4, which looks pretty much exactly like the rumors and the photos that we saw over there. It included things like a touch screen area. They also said there was a share button, so they're gonna have a lot of social features to post to social media. The PS3 was actually the first console that integrated the ability for the console to actually post to Facebook and Twitter back, when they were the first ones to do it. So I thought that was interesting that they've integrated it as a button because sharing and social is everything now these days.
The other thing that they showed off was that kind of, I want to say, Kinect-y style device that would be able to see the particular light, whatever light color on the light bar that's on the front of the controller there to give you, I imagine, some kind of 3D control.
Yeah, also they mentioned how the controller itself will have a headphone port, so you can directly plug in your headphones into the controller. So, it's interesting. I think it's obviously the most feature-packed controller that they put out there so far.
I will be interested to see exactly how that touch pad, that touch strip is going to be used in gameplay, but we're going to find out, hopefully with some more demos up here. So.
Yeah, our buddy Mr. Curry is still speaking right now. He's back on stage. The thing about him is he has a striking resemblance to like a Willy Wonka-esque mannerisms.
He has kind of like a Peter Pan, Willy Wonka kind of vibe that is both intriguing and kind of creeps me out. But it's interesting.
Yeah, if you're still with us and you haven't left us yet to watch, one of the other streams that are playing, right now he's showing off, he's talking about the processor, how it's built, how there's a secondary chip involved. So, he's explained that right now. I can't really hear him. I'm just kind of watching what the presentation that they're giving. The other thing about this is that they're really telling the whole story of like Sony's history. And I mean, I get it. You have to like prep people, but I feel like they're doing the slow burn.
Right.
Yeah.
I have a feeling this is going to be a pretty long presentation for the whole rollout.
Right now, he's also talking about social. We talked about that on the controller. There's an actual share button that's going to be on the device. So there you go. They're going to make it an emphasis. I mean, that's pretty smart. I don't know how much you want to share about your video game activity. Like, now, I deliberately turned it off.
Is it going to actually be like recording, like high definition, like video recorded content of?
No. Okay, looks like we got the stream back. All right, guys, enjoy.
Hit the share button on the controller, scan through the last few minutes of gameplay, pick a portion, tag it, and return to your game. The video will upload as you continue play. Our goal is to make the sharing of video as popular in the PlayStation 4 generation as the sharing of screenshots is today. And this same hardware enhances visibility of gameplay. You can browse live game video of what your friends are doing at that exact moment, or spectate the gameplay of a famous person within your gaming universe. You can even see that your friend is in trouble and reach out through the network to take over the controller and assist them through some difficult portion of the game. And on PlayStation 4, we are transitioning to a friends network based on real-world friends. We'll keep around the alias and the icon used in today's multiplayer matches. These are great to have when anonymity is important. But most of the new social dimension to PlayStation 4 will be interacting with friends using real names and profile pictures, most likely seeded from your existing social network. And this social network isn't visible only from within the console UI. PlayStation 4 is designed to be a highly integrated platform, seamlessly interconnected across the network to the full PlayStation ecosystem, as well as to key third-party devices and services. Applications on smartphones and tablets, as well as web platforms and Vita, will allow PlayStation 4 conversations to be carried far beyond the living room. You can use your smartphone to browse game video of possible opponents in your favorite fighting game and challenge them to matches. Companion applications on PlayStation Vita or your tablet will add another dimension to the experience and allow you to keep in touch with the evolving world of your game regardless of your location. And our final ambition with PlayStation 4 is personalization, the concept that the system can get to know you and bring you closer to the games and other experiences that you're seeking. Personalization is a key design principle of the PlayStation 4 interface. You're just a button press away from the latest news about your game titles or interactions with your friends. But as the system learns your likes and dislikes, we can take this a step further. You'll discover content preloaded and ready to go on your console by your favorite creator or in your favorite genre. Our long-term vision is to reduce download times of digital titles to 0. If we know enough about you to predict the next game you'll purchase, then that game can be loaded and ready to go before you even click the buy button. So, in conclusion, an informed system architecture was fundamental to the creation of PlayStation 4. It is and always has been our goal to deliver play that is deeply satisfying. And in order to do that, we knew we would need to design to the dreams and ambitions of the developers who create the content that game players crave. And we knew that these game players would expect ease of access, simplicity, and control over their content and their experiences, and that a successful new platform would need to not only meet, but also exceed their expectations. We've therefore taken a deeply consumer-focused and developer-centric approach to the design of the PlayStation 4, resulting in gaming experiences that evolve and ensuring that PlayStation continues to offer the best place to play. As a developer and creator, and certainly as a gamer, I'm thrilled about the vast potential of the PS4 to empower new and even more compelling game experiences. And that's the end of my section of today's presentation. Thank you very much for your time. So, I'd like to introduce the next speaker, Dave Perry. You probably know him as the co-founder and CEO of Gaikai, a pioneering company in cloud gaming that Sony Entertainment purchased last year. For me, though, it's a bit different. Dave's one of my personal heroes, a charismatic game designer with a string of hits, including Aladdin and Earthworm Jim, that I've spent far too much of my time playing over the years. Please join me in welcoming David Perry, CEO of Gaikai.
Hey, thanks, Mark. It's truly an honor to be here with everyone in the room and the millions watching live around the world. I can't tell you how excited the Gaikai team and I are to be working on the PlayStation 4 platform. They're actually back at our office watching live through the internet right now, so hi everyone. As Mark mentioned, I've proudly spent nearly all of my life playing and creating video games. We all remember powering up our first PlayStation and the adrenaline rush that followed. It wasn't just a piece of hardware that gave us the goosebumps. It was knowing that the PlayStation would be delivering new experiences that pushed the gaming forward into completely new territories. And that's precisely what we're doing with PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation Network, integrated with our Gaikai technology. PlayStation 4 is an incredible platform, and it's imperative that the PlayStation Network delivers a connected experience that is equally incredible and delivers on the vision of the PlayStation 4. With the network, you'll fight together, you'll become champions together, and you'll conquer the world together. The gamer is at the center of the PlayStation Network, so every decision that we're making for the network is scrutinized to ensure that it delivers on what gamers want most out of their entertainment experiences. What we're creating is the fastest, most powerful network for gaming in the world. The PlayStation Network will get to know you by understanding your personal preferences and the preferences of your community, and turns this knowledge into useful information that will help to enhance future gameplay. So like when your friends purchase a new game, you'll know immediately so you can join into the action. And with the Gaikai Cloud technology, our goal is to make free exploration possible for virtually any PlayStation 4 game in the PlayStation Store. So imagine you're in the store, you're checking out the latest titles, and you see something that catches your eye. No problem. You can simply press the X button to hop in and start playing the game. Now in the past, not all games were available, and the ones that were had to be kind of the light version, where they'd been edited down so that they could be downloaded reasonably quickly. With Gaikai in the PlayStation Store, you'll be able to instantly experience anything that you want. I've always liked that concept of try it for free, share it if you like it, and pay only for the games that you fall in love with. So now we're changing the rules when it comes to social gaming. By putting social at the core of PlayStation 4 experiences, we can layer in new features meaningful to gamers. We've partnered with some of the biggest and most influential social networks in the world, including Facebook and Ustream, to bring gamers' friends into games like never before. Social networks such as Facebook are obviously critical to how we stay in touch with our friends and current events around the world. But they don't know your PlayStation gaming history and all your preferences, nor those of your friends. They don't know if you're a Journey expert or if you've collected up every platinum in the Uncharted series. So by combining the PlayStation 4, the PlayStation Network, and these social platforms, our vision is to create the first social gaming network with meaning. And this network will be dedicated, just to be clear, to games. So as you know, spectating has become very popular in our industry because it lets gamers learn tricks and tips from the best players in the world. When players find something they love, it's our job at PlayStation to make that even better. So we've asked ourselves, how could we improve the spectating experience? First, what we're using is that share button on the PlayStation 4 controller. With that one button, you can broadcast from your game live, 100% real time, to your friends. It's an incredible innovation and something that has never been possible on console before. And we could have stopped there, but we kept pushing. So we're making it so that your friends can actually look over your shoulder virtually and interact with you while you're playing. And if you allow them, your friends can also post comments to your screen. You can solicit support from them, or you can just trash talk with them, and you can even be inside a different game. But wouldn't it be cool if you were stuck in a difficult level, like you just can't work out how to get through that door? You could ask a friend on the internet who's finished the game to take over your controller and assist. We're building this capability into the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation Network so that your circle of PSN friends will become that much more important. And finally, we're helping fuel the imagination of our developers by giving them new spectating tools. Now imagine a developer using these tools. If they identify a gaming expert, they can give them director-level status so they can manipulate levels to assist you during your gameplay. Developers can insert command buttons for certain levels where friends can drop in special items for you, such as giving you a health potion when you're in critical condition. We've also partnered with Ustream to give gamers multicasting capabilities. And that means you can schedule a set time and broadcast your gameplay live to anyone that you want to invite. In summary, the base hardware architecture for PlayStation Network was designed to facilitate and integrate social aspects throughout all phases of the gaming experience. The PlayStation Network wraps you in your favorite content wherever you are, across the PS4, the PS3, the PS Vita, smartphones, and tablets. And we're going to give developers a simple, elegant solution for enhancing their PS4 games on second screens. A key feature enabled by second screens is remote play. Now, we believe so much in remote play that it's been built into the architecture of the PlayStation 4. So how are we unlocking remote play's potential with this next generation? The answer is PlayStation Vita. PS Vita is the ultimate companion device for PS4, enabling gamers to put their games from their beautiful HD TVs right onto their PS Vita's beautiful 5-inch OLED display. For example, say you're in the middle of an epic battle on PS4, but your kids have just taken over the living room. What do? Well, it's easy. You just use remote play to transfer the game over to your PS Vita. Now, as you saw, Mark is working on this game, Knack, on the PS4, so we brought a surprise for him today. By using remote play, he can now also play his game instantly on the PS Vita. So what do you think, Mark?
I think it looks great. So this is my PlayStation 4 title, Knack, running in remote play on Vita. And the work's really well distributed between the two consoles. We're using the full graphical capabilities of the PlayStation 4. And on Vita, we're taking advantage of the beautiful 5-inch OLED, as well as the sophisticated mobile controls.
I was expecting you to say cool. So, okay, spoken like a true system architect. Our long-term goal is to make every PlayStation 4 title playable on the PS Vita. I mean, if you think about that, even the demos that you're seeing today, some of the most incredible, we have some incredible things to show you. If you can imagine, we can make those games instantly playable on the PS Vita as well. So to make remote play between the PS4 and the PS Vita feel good, we've dramatically reduced transmission times so the gameplay is snappy and immediate. We've accomplished this by integrating some of the Gaikai technology into the PS4 system architecture that essentially turns it into a game server, and the PS Vita becomes a client with remarkably fast connection speeds. Of course, the PlayStation Network and the PS4 will provide access to a vast array of other forms of entertainment beyond gaming. PlayStation gamers love all forms of entertainment, including watching movies, watching TV shows, listening to music. So PlayStation Network will have services including Sony's own Video Unlimited and Music Unlimited. And we're working with leading services like Netflix, Amazon Instant Video, and other media services to have them on the platform. We'll be announcing more specifics on this later in the year. Now, I've already mentioned a couple of ways that Gaikai's cloud technology and PlayStation Network will enhance the player's experiences. But PlayStation Network in the cloud can present additional value to PlayStation gamers. For example, over the past 6 years, PlayStation 3 has built an incredible catalog of titles that is unmatched in the industry. Although PS3 titles aren't natively supported on the PS4, we're exploring some very unique opportunities enabled by cloud technology with the long-term vision of making PS3 games ubiquitous on any device. The technology is so advanced that someday we could easily put PS1, PS2, PS3, and the PS Mobile games on any device, including the PlayStation 4. This would fundamentally change the concept of game longevity. Imagine having access to all the old games you love and the ability to get them up and running in seconds wherever you are on whatever device you have near you. Everything, everywhere is the challenge that PlayStation has put before our teams. That's the vision of the PlayStation Cloud service, and it's going to require us to build the fastest global network ever made. Now, Gaikai won a Guinness World Record for our prototype network, but now I'm happy to announce that the project has been fully greenlit by Sony. So this is not an investment into advanced technology and infrastructure. This is an investment into the millions of loyal PlayStation gamers across the world who would love to have all the past, present, and future games at their fingertips. We'll be rolling out PlayStation's cloud services in phases, so we can't reveal all the possibilities here today, but you can be certain that it and the PlayStation 4 will change the way that we play. Now, I've described the vision and the strategy behind PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation Network. Let's hear how some of the world's most accomplished developers are using it as their virtual platform to turn their creative dreams into reality. Thank you.
You know, our industry, the past 10 years, has seen so many trends come and go. You know, there's been, you know, at times people are, you have to do social, you have to do casual, you have to do hardcore, you have to do this, you have to do that. But as much as it's been changing, all of those different trends have been supporting each other. What I love about this console is that I think it's the first time that these trends are going to really be brought together. This is where the promise of what we can do is bigger than just one genre.
This time, Sony came around to us and they came to our office and they said, here's what we're thinking. What are you guys thinking? What have you been held back by? And what would you do if you didn't have any technical limitations?
That they gave us the possibility to provide feedback and to adapt based on the feedback they received from developers was, for me, a very important message.
All these developers had a hand in actually helping form what the PlayStation 4 would eventually turn out to be.
We took all that into consideration to create the system that just works.
When we think about the word simple, we've chosen to interpret that with a comparable word, elegance. And to us that means this balance between how complex the simulation or the options or the interfaces are with how deep the experience you can get from it. The more elegant a design is, then the more simple and easy it is to get incredible depth.
Where you can have a deeper experience that's still not really complicated, but it's much richer and much more immersive.
Everyone has, to some degree, some instinct of craft. They want to make something their own. They want to make it a representation of themselves to other people who know them.
Through personalization, there can be a relationship between the kind of content that I'm interested in and how the options are presented to me.
So this system actually is very much aware of the player and what's going on in the room at any given point.
So, for example, when I go to the PlayStation Store, right now I see advertisements and commercials for a lot of games that I'm frankly not interested in. Having a good way to present you the games that you're interested in is very important for us.
If we want everyone to be engaged in gaming and love it and understand it, we just got to make it easy for everyone to get into that and not waste everyone's time.
That doesn't involve 3 minutes of boot up and disc shuffling and sort of all of these things that are just like a nuisance between the impulse to play a game.
So immediacy becomes an important goal. I want to make the decision to experience something or to access something, and I want it right now.
There isn't any more waiting time, there isn't any more startup. I literally walk in, pick up the controller,
hit the start button, it just goes.
It's a huge win for gamers. You're able to download the first bit of a game and start playing it before the next 20 gigs downloads.
One button press away, and you get what you want.
Historically, console games have been very much like lived in a tower. You go to your living room, you have that experience there, and that's where it happens, and then like you leave your living room and then you have the rest of your life. Looking ahead, integrated gaming experiences will follow you everywhere that you go.
The entire world has changed in the way you can interact with many devices wherever you are at any time of day.
So there'll be some window into that entertainment experience that's accessible through your phone or your PC or a portable gaming device.
The many different devices that you use are seamlessly integrated to create your PS4 experience very seamless.
There was a time when the shared experience meant that your friend sat next to you on the couch. Now that we can basically project that across the globe.
Offering them opportunities to interact with each other, while they're playing the game, but also outside of the game.
The new big feature that we have on this controller is the appearance of the share button. The share button allows you to record any gameplay and create a video or a screenshot and share it instantly.
Whenever they want to share an epic moment, they can just press that button.
Before you had to make a video, edit the video, upload the video, and now we're going to make this so easy for people to just press the share button and off it goes.
It's going to bring opportunities to engage players with the game and with each other like we've never done before.
One of the neat things about next generation hardware is there's always kind of this mystery. What is the actual ceiling of this thing? What is the potential? How far are we going to be able to push it?
The possibilities have just blown open in a way that in previous generations it never had.
This is what PlayStation is about. It's about innovation and it's about new ideas.
PlayStation 4というのは、非常にプレーンなシステムですから、真っ白なキャンバスみたいなもので、すごくクリエイターにとって腕の振るいようがあるんですね。全ては、クリエイターが何を、そのキャンバスに書き込むか、が全てなんですね。
Because at the end of the day, everybody does like that. Everybody does want to see new amazing things.
For me, the three words that would recap would be
immersive,
magical,
simplicity,
ultimate play.
the game entertainment machine.
It's coming soon.
It's a connected world.
It's a PlayStation.
Ladies and gentlemen, from Worldwide Studios, please welcome Michael Denny.
Thank you. So as you've heard from Mark and Dave, and as you've just seen in the video, there are a lot of very happy game developers out there right now, which is fantastic, because the future of PlayStation is about great games, inspiring new experiences from the imaginations of the world's best creators. In the past, creators' ambitions have often been constrained by the limitations of technology. PlayStation 4 will bring a new synergy between hardware, software, and the fastest, most powerful gaming network in the world, unlocking a new canvas for creativity. From the outset, our game creators have been given the opportunity to collaborate with our hardware and system software engineers to help shape PlayStation 4's unique feature set. So with this powerful synergy, deeper, more connected experiences and a newer emotional state of play are made possible. At Worldwide Studios, we are privileged to work with the world's best development teams. And whether working on new IP or reinventing existing franchises, PlayStation 4 has ignited their creativity to build exclusive new experiences that until now they could only have dreamt of. So, I guess what a lot of you have been waiting for, let's take an early look at some of their work. Please welcome on stage the Managing Director and co-founder of Guerrilla Games, Herman Hulse.
In the near future, mankind has colonized planets in search of resources. However, there's a conflict between two factions, the people of Helghan and the people of Vecta. This conflict is about much more than just resources. The Helghast are fighting for their right to exist, while the Vectans want to protect their way of life. The Helghast have evolved and claim genetic superiority. They are brutal and relentless in pursuit of their so-called justice against the Vectans. This war devastates planets. The conflict draws parallels to Cold War Berlin, with two factions living side by side, divided by a vast wall. This is a story about the loss of home, the search for a new home, and the lengths to which people go to defend it. This is Killzone Shadowfall.
This is Sierra 37, requesting clearance to land on platform 2. Copy, Sierra 37, we're clear for approach. Local team on standby.
Soil, sir. We're expecting you upstairs. Follow me. I'll get you through security. A lot of traffic passing through here today. More than usual. They're drafting in units from all over. It's the waiting around that messes with your head. Guess now you're here, things start moving, huh?
Nobody gets through without...
Back up! Back up! Let him through! This way, sir.
Sorry, sir, just a formality. Okay, clear. Please proceed.
Yeah, well, need some help! Hold on! He's gonna get you out! Hold on! Put some pressure on him! He's bleeding out!
Good evening, everyone. I'm Matt Southern from Evolution Studios, and we're making the game we've always wanted to make. It's called Drive Club, and it's all about team-based racing. I've waited so long to be able to tell you about it. It's existed as a concept at the studio for 10 years. We trademarked the name Drive Club 9 years ago. You can check it online. At its heart, it's always been a very simple concept about driving the very best cars in the world, in the greatest locations in the world, but crucially, doing it together. And we've literally waited for the technology to be available to deliver our vision. We've visited the greatest car companies there are to share this vision for next-gen team racing. And they love that Drive Club isn't just about cars and locations, not even just about winning races, but about people, about collaborative gameplay with friends in teams. Next generation no longer just means more powerful hardware. We're the next generation of gamer. We want to play great-looking games like this, but in new ways that fit our permanently connected social lives. And to us, that means driving in a team. Drive Club is a game to play in real clubs, asynchronously and in real time, against other clubs all around the world. The gameplay isn't specifically about races, it's about challenges, and rewards you for playing in groups even if you aren't top of the leaderboard, much like the best squad-based first-person shooters do. I can also fire up the Drive Club app on my phone or tablet, pick a race type, pick the cars, pick any time of day, in any weather, at any time of the year, set a time, and then send that challenge all around the world. Then I can watch the drama unfold as hundreds of players and clubs try to become the best at my challenge. We're talking 24/7, untethered access to your club, no matter where you are, home or away. Plus, whether it's a short team drag race or a weekend-long 1,000-player tournament with hundreds of teams, every section of every track is packed with challenges. First-person games are also great at transporting you and your friends fully into their worlds. And we're using first-person perspective to make sure you and your mates feel exactly how you should when you own a car like this. We're recreating them with obsessive love. These are two of the fastest production cars in the world, the Hennessy Venom GT and the Koenigsegg Agera R. And they're as close as you'll get to the real thing in terms of detail and accuracy, with totally correct material parameters, painstakingly measured from the real thing using our custom-built photometric apparatus. We've gone borderline insane with real-world details and subtleties. We've modelled the direction of each microscopic metallic flake of paint in multiple layers. We've emulated the effect of each individual thread in the weave of the carbon fibre, so the pattern alters realistically with the lighting angle. The lights themselves are fully modelled using multiple layers of reflectors and lenses that refract the real bulbs underneath. And we've modelled those rainbow patterns you get when you wax the plastic headlamp covers. Even the suede and carpet have a fibre direction map, causing them to reflect light differently when they've been brushed or touched. In fact, let's climb into a Let's climb into a car now. This isn't cockpit view, this is true first-person racing. The exquisite feeling of opening the door, breathing in the experience, asked to help define new PlayStation technology so that we can finally bring our vision for team-based racing to life. That's just a brief glimpse of Drive Club. We can't wait to show you more. Thank you.
In 1999, I took part in a political rally and got tear gassed by the cops. Now, up until then, I'd always thought the police were there to protect me, to protect the people that I cared about. But on that day, they didn't. We all want to feel safe, right? But it is hard to put your finger on what that sense of security is worth. However, it is easy to say what it costs. Right now, there are 4.2 million security cameras distributed all around Great Britain. That is one camera for every 14 citizens. In 2011, the U.S. government seized the personal cell phone records of 1.3 million of its citizens. There are 1,200 of us in here today. 4 of us have been monitored. And 2 years ago, American travelers spent a combined 75,000 years waiting in airport security. You add that all up, that is 1,000 lifetimes lost in line in just 1 year. Our security comes at a high price. Our freedom. Now, picture how things would change, how the world would react if a handful of people suddenly developed superhuman abilities, capable of unleashing incredible carnage without ever pulling a trigger or lighting a fuse. These people would be living, breathing weapons that could pass through any metal detector or X-ray scanner or even a strip search completely undetectable. We already live in a culture of fear. Picture how things would change. How much control would any of us have over our own lives? And which of us would have the courage to fight to get our freedoms back? I'm Nate Fox, here to introduce to you Sucker Punch's latest game, exclusive for the PlayStation 4.
Your safety is our top priority. The DUP is in control. To expedite scanning, please remove all rings and bracelets. The DUP is in control.
G6 status. G7 status. H1 status. What the hell?
I don't know. B2 status? What should we do? B2 repeat status.
On me. Keep your eyes peeled. The DUP is in control of the situation.
Up there! We got him!
Lost B2. Check in B5, B5.
Over there. Go. Cover me.
I want him alive.
control of the situation.
You are not in control.
Thanks, Nate. And I'm pretty sure he's just won the backstage suite for the coolest game introduction of the night there. And thanks to all the guys for introducing 3 already amazing-looking games that not only look fantastic, but allow a depth of gameplay that will take our players to a new level of immersion. PlayStation has always been proud to offer the best gameplay experiences. Now, often that means deeper and more intense versions of experiences that we know we already love. But sometimes best can mean things that are surprising, things that don't always fit, things that can help us pioneer new ways to play and embrace the unexpected. PlayStation will always be a leader in encouraging creators to push the boundaries, from supporting smaller indies with their highly innovative and sometimes left-field ideas, to supporting more established teams in their quest to take creative risks that other publishers simply won't take. In the next few minutes, we would like to take you on an adventure into the imaginations of 3 amazing creators who continue to inspire us with their unique visions. The first comes from one of the world's most acclaimed independent developers. PlayStation remains steadfast in our support for the indie development community. By offering self-publishing on PlayStation Network, we'll continue to provide the most open console to enable smaller developers to easily bring their breakthrough titles to PlayStation gamers. So please join me in welcoming on stage the creator of the captivating and critically acclaimed Braid to introduce his team's latest creation that will debut on PlayStation 4, Jonathan Blow.
Hey, I really don't know what I'm going to do to follow up after all those explosions, but we'll see what happens, I guess. Anyway, due to the success of Braid, we've managed to found a new small development studio, and we've been working on our new game, which is called The Witness, for 3.5 years now. It's a game where you explore a mysterious abandoned island and solve the puzzles that you find there. But at its heart, at its core, it's a game about epiphany, that instantaneous transition of the mind that takes you from confusion to understanding. You know, one minute your situation seems impossible, you have no idea what the solution to your problem would even look like. And then the next minute you see everything. It's all very simple and clear. And you wonder how you couldn't have seen this solution before. You know, a lot of games have these kind of little aha moments in them. But in The Witness, we take this aha substance and distill it into a concentrated form. And in doing so, we make design decisions the opposite way that most games would. The Witness takes place in an open world, so you can go wherever you want to at any time. But whereas most games in open worlds try to make their worlds as big as possible, so you'll be impressed by the sheer scale of the endeavor, in The Witness, we're trying to make the world as compact as possible, so that you have a very dense experience that makes the best use of your time. Wherever you're standing in this open world, there are 3 or 4 different destinations with completely different themes within 20 seconds of walking from where you are. New, interesting things around every corner. And everything in the world is carefully placed, and everything is where it is for a reason. A lot of games try to pad their playtime so that they seem long. But in this game, we work very, very hard to cut anything that's redundant. There's no filler. Now, it's a puzzle game, but the puzzles aren't just arbitrary. They don't exist just to be puzzles for you to solve. Every puzzle has an idea inside it. And on the design side, we work very, very hard to communicate in a nonverbal way the essence of each idea. Now, Even with this focus on compactness, we've managed to put together a game with 25 hours of gameplay, of unique puzzles, every one bringing you something different. And in the release window, PlayStation 4 will be the only console that The Witness is on. Now, it's a game that happens really all in your mind, much more so than on the screen anyway. But nevertheless, tonight we've put together our first official trailer, which I'll show you now. Let's roll the clip.
Thanks, Jonathan. Wonderful stuff. And how about that? What other event would show you a game like the visceral and action-packed Killzone, followed by the mesmerizing and thought-provoking Witness? And speaking of Killzone, at the end of the playthrough you saw earlier, Stephen hit the new share button and uploaded it directly to the Killzone Facebook page. So as soon as we're done here, please go check it out. Okay, so what follows now are not game presentations, but a glimpse of the future, sure to challenge your current vision of gaming. Two of our wonderfully talented creators will give us an early glimpse into their concepting process and demonstrate what is possible when you combine PlayStation 4 with unbridled creativity. So first up, please welcome, from the award-winning Quantic Dream, David Cage.
When people ask me, what is the feature you want the most on future hardware platforms? My answer is always the same: emotion. Getting the player emotionally involved is the holy grail of all game creators. We all try to trigger intense, subtle, and diverse emotions. We try to make players forget that this is just a program animating pixels on a screen. We don't want them just to watch something. We want them to live it and suspend their disbelief, experiencing that magic moment where they live in a different reality. Emotion is something complex and challenging to capture. It's conveyed by graphics, animation, sound, cinematography, dialogue, of course, gameplay. In a medium like ours, technology is very important. It is what we rely on to get the player emotionally involved. If you look in the past, some films were highly emotional while being silent and in black and white. But they were limited in their expression to simpler stories that had to be told under heavy technical constraints. Actors had to exaggerate their moves to convey their emotions. Cameras could hardly move, and lighting as well as photography were barely concepts at the time. Cinema really became what it is today when technology evolved enough to let movie directors and actors create the subtle emotions they wanted on screen. Eventually, they developed sound, color, lighting, and higher resolution formats, and suddenly, the audience could see in the eyes of the actors when they were lying or when they were about to cry. Pantomimes were not necessary anymore because the most subtle nuances of emotions could be seen on screen. With the PlayStation 4, games have now finally reached that stage. In 1999, Quantic Dream's first game, Omicron, featured characters with 350 polygons. Indigo Prophecy's main characters were around 1,500 polys. Heavy Rain's characters were about 15,000. Chara at 20,000. This year, Jodie Holmes and Beyond will be about 30,000 polygons. On PlayStation 4, this is what you can get. Quantic Dream has developed a completely new engine. What you see is running in real-time 3D on a PlayStation 4. It is our first attempt at using advanced skin shaders with translucency, realistic ice shaders, volumetric lights, 3D depth of field, and many, many other features that were up until today reserved to CG films. This is the quality that we will get in our future games, and we know we can go even further. But more important than these technical features, we start to reach a point where you can see very subtle emotions on the face of a character, where you can feel his emotions just looking at his face, where you can see his soul just looking into his eyes. When you look at this old man, you can imagine who he is, what he thinks, what happened to him, without him saying a word. With the PlayStation 4, game creators can now forget about the technology limitations and simply focus on inventing experiences never seen before. We can concentrate on what amazing stories we want to tell and what incredible worlds we want to create. We can take you to places you have never been before and make you feel emotions that you have never felt in real life without having to wonder if we will have the horsepower to do so. We are now only limited by our imagination. Thank you.
Wow, David, please can I have a copy of that skin shader? But I mean, seriously, it's just amazing to be able to get that emotion in the eyes. It's really hard. So, hello. I'm Alex Evans from Media Molecule, and Michael asked us to just give a little insight into our creative process over the last few years at our studio. And, you know, when we first heard about the PlayStation 4, we began thinking, what can we do to turn creative gaming and take it to the next level? Because that's what Media Molecule was founded to do. It was to use this amazing device to bring the creativity of every PlayStation user to the fore. And creativity takes many forms these days, whether it's taking a picture, cosplaying as Kratos, or 3D printing a customized character. It's easier than ever to show off your skills. And with the internet, you can reach millions of people. So creation is everywhere, but it can feel kind of fractured and complicated. And so we thought, how can we cut through all the crap? And we realized there's a simple way of thinking about all of this. What we wanted to do was let you record your dreams. Think about that for a second. Record your dreams. You see, the PlayStation 4 for us at Media Molecule should be the creative console. It's the place you go to be inspired. It's the place you go to experience other people's dreams or to make your own. It's the place you go to create. And the only question for us was how. When we looked at how people create digitally, especially in 3D, things just haven't changed in the last 5 or 10 years. As a graphics programmer, vertices, textures, UV mapping, they've been the bane of my life and the artists I work with for many years. I call it the tyranny of the polygon. And so we asked ourselves, how could PlayStation 4 change this? How could the insane power per dollar that only a next-gen console deliver, how can we sweep away the techie mess? How can we redefine digital making and overcome the tyranny of the polygon? So we've done 2 years of research into this, from motion capture to stereo cameras to advanced. So we've done more and more space age. It just did not feel like recording dreams at all. And then we discovered that the single most powerful accurate and precise tool for 3D creation was right under our noses. It was the Move controller. Now, finally, at last, after a troubled relationship, we've completely fallen in love with this thing. Dear Move controller, I'm sorry, it's taken us so long to realize this, but we're going to marry you with the power of the PlayStation 4. We are going to revolutionize making. You're great. So one of the first things we built with this was a sculpting tool, and we've been using it for a while now. Once we stopped thinking in terms of memory budgets, schedules, pixels, we forgot about the technology and we just started doodling, just sketching, put that at the heart of our creative process. A really lovely thing happened. We started having real fun, making, collaborating, sketching, remaking. It doesn't matter where you start out because you can take a left turn at any time that inspiration strikes and go somewhere even cooler. It's a free-form creative journey that I think of a little bit like cloud watching, except that you can reach in at any time and change and shape it to whatever's in your head. Behind me, you can see a time-lapse of one of our sculpts playing back literally as it was made, because we record every single move that you make. And because it's such a quick and free-form thing, before we knew it at Media Molecule, we had made hundreds of these things. Imagine this multiplied from our tiny staff to the thousands and millions of brilliant PlayStation users online. Every single one of these was made entirely with the Move controller. And it's a kind of performance. You're able to put down your ideas as fast as you can think of them. It's this combination of the PlayStation 4's power with the Move's unique accuracy, which allows us to ditch all of the 2D fiddly camera controls and nasty user interface. It makes 3D sculpting easy for beginners and deep for advanced creators. And if you're like me and haven't quite mastered sculpture yet, then we're going to allow you to use the creativity of all of these people to collage and create ever larger sets, game levels, stories, with the simplest possible interface. You just hold your controller and click to assemble your dream. Of course, this isn't just about sculpture and collage. With PlayStation 4, with the Creative Console, we wanted to change making in every way, whether it's music, gaming, or storytelling. And the point is, it's fast to create. What you're about to see was recorded live in one take. It's someone's dream brought to life with PlayStation 4.
How do you follow that? Thanks very much, Alex. Although we've only shown glimpses of these new exclusive titles and some creative explorations being developed for PlayStation 4, I think you'll agree that our Worldwide Studios team and the indie community is pushing the boundaries into how games look, feel, and interact. Of course, the development teams that comprise Worldwide Studios aren't the only ones focusing their efforts on PlayStation 4. We have long-standing relationships going back to the original PlayStation with some of the most iconic and influential developers in the world. And I'm proud to announce that virtually every major third-party partner across North America, Europe, Japan, and Asia will support PlayStation 4. Today, we'll be sharing with you some amazing new titles, but we're just scratching the surface of the full roster that we'll show throughout the year. To help demonstrate this point, please join me in welcoming our first guest, Yoshinori Ono from Capcom.
Hi everyone, do you want to stretch? All right. So, I'm not talking about Street Fighter today. So, good morning, good evening, everyone. So, and good morning those in Japan. I have really been looking forward to tonight's presentation. You have no idea how badly I wanted to tweet about it, but I persevered. It feels good to finally be able to talk about this stuff. I hope you are eager to listen as well. This event is being streamed to Japan as we speak. So we will be conducting this presentation in both Japanese and English. 日本の皆さんおはようございます。これから日本語で僕がプレゼンテーションをさせていただきます。カプコンは今までのタイトル、テクノロジーの進化、これはプレイステーションと一緒に歴史を歩んできたと言っても過言ではありません。
Capcom's technology and the games themselves have changed a great deal over the years, keeping pace with PlayStation's evolving technology and business style.
プレイステーション1の時代、我々は 2D アニメーションからバイオハザードというタイトルで 3D に大きく変革のテクノロジーをしてきました。
The technology of the original PlayStation allowed us to move beyond the 2D sprites to which we'd grown accustomed and break new ground with IPs such as Resident Evil.
プレイステーション2の時代、DVD ロムという新しいビジネススタイル、そしてエモーションエンジンという新しいグラフィックエンジンを我々は手に入れて、新しい IP、鬼武者シリーズとデビルメイクライを作り出してきました。
The DVD-ROM technology and the emotion engine brought to us by the PlayStation 2 allowed us to create visually stunning titles that took advantage of newly developed graphical engines. Titles such as the Onimusha series and Devil May Cry would not have been possible without the technology that the PS2 brought to the table.
そして PSP の時代です。今まで家庭用でしかできなかった経験を外に持ち運ぶ、そしてネットワークにつなぐ、この形で我々はモンスターハンターシリーズを生み出してきました。
The PSP allowed us, for the first time, to take our PlayStation experience out of the living room and into the world, using communication technology to bring such experiences like the Monster Hunter series to life.
2D アニメーションのシンボルであったストリートファイターシリーズ、そして恐怖体験のシンボルであったバイオハザードシリーズ、これを今の時代にしっかりと蘇らしたのもプレイステーション3の技術があったからだと思っています。
The most gorgeous 2D art the Street Fighter series could muster upon its rebirth. The progression and evolution of the Resident Evil series and the utter fear that it instills, all this immersion, all these fantastic effects, we owe it to the PlayStation 3 format.
我々はこのプレイステーション4の時代、新しい時代へ走ってみたいと思っています。
And now here we are, with the announcement of the PlayStation 4, we are proud to help usher in a new era of entertainment.
我々は今まで MT フレームワークというエンジンを使って開発を続けてきました。
We've been hard at work developing a new engine suited to the PlayStation 4 and its power, the next evolutionary step from our MT framework engine.
プレイステーション4、この新しいビジネススタイル、そして新しいグラフィックエンジンに対応する新しいエンジン作りを今進めています。
We continue to refine this engine to ensure that it takes advantage of the incredible technology, power, and business style that the PlayStation 4 embodies.
このエンジンコードネームパンタレイは新しいテクノロジー、そしてそのテクノロジーを使うツール、そして新しいゲームデザインに対応するべくただいま目下開発中です。
This new engine, codenamed Panta-Ray, by taking advantage of current technology and providing the tools necessary to harness it, will allow us to take game design in entirely new directions.
本日はこのパンタレイの上で動いている新しい IP、そしてプレイステーション4の上で実際動いている映像を今日は皆さんにお届けしたいと思います。
I'd like to show you a little something. It represents a new IP running on the PlayStation 4 using the Panta-Ray engine.
my useless magic and have me porking loins in the old market for 1/10 the hassle of your empty venture. Why were you following him anyway? Let's find this bloody third gate.
Harvard. このディープダウン、そしてパンタレイは今、目下開発中です。
So as we speak, Deep Down is being developed concurrently with the Panta Ray engine.
このプレイステーション4という新しいアイテム、そして新しい力を使って我々は皆さんに新しいゲーム体験を体験していただきたいと思っています。
So we're hoping that the power and technology behind the PlayStation 4 will bring us all sorts of brand new experiences.
Thank you very much for listening to our presentation. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Ono-san. Domo. Arigatou gozaimashita. Footage looks remarkable and brand new IP. We're really excited by what Capcom has in the works for PlayStation 4, and we'll be sharing more later this year. Square Enix is another major partner developing for PlayStation 4. As you know, our relationship with Square Enix dates back 16 years to when Final Fantasy VII appeared on the original PlayStation. Since then, our partnership has fostered some of the most innovative gameplay and rich cinematics and storylines that gamers fell in love with. Please join me in welcoming to the stage Yoshihisa Hashimoto from Square Enix to tell you more about their support for PlayStation 4.
Hi everyone, good evening. My name is Yoshihisa Hashimoto. I'm the Chief Technology Officer of Square Enix Japan. It's a great pleasure to be present at the announcement of the PlayStation 4. This is a historical event for the game industry. And I'm truly honored to be allowed to give a demonstration in front of you all. Today's demo isn't a game, but rather a real-time cinematic demo running on PlayStation 4. This cinematic was created using Lumina Studio, Square Enix's state-of-the-art game engine. I believe it will give you a taste of the game experiences that will become possible with the next-gen capabilities of the PlayStation 4. Without further ado, please enjoy.
Hear me, mighty servant. With an offering of light and darkness, do I invoke the ancient pact of binding. Once more, the wicked stand before us, threatening the sacred communion between your realm and mine. Rise, and from the time-torn rift shall our power rage forth and bring down destruction. Never is it here. That pressure through, boy.
Thank you. Thank you. This is the level of quality that Square Enix is targeting for our next generation titles. The PlayStation 4 is a multifunctional, incredibly powerful gaming platform. Its CPU and GPU processing power are extremely high, and it has massive amount of memory, and even has wonderful social features. And the development environment is excellent, flexible, and super easy to use. In short, it's a game developer's dream. Thanks to the PlayStation 4, the possibilities of gameplay experiences have been greatly expanded, and players will be enthralled by the new generation of gameplay that will appear on the PlayStation 4. So my part is ending, but we have one other piece of information to share with everyone. I'll give the floor to the other Hashimoto to tell you about it. Well, Mr. Shinji Hashimoto, please take it away.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. My name is Shinji Hashimoto. I am the brand director for Final Fantasy at Square Enix. I am not brothers with Yoshihisa. Okay, today, I just have one thing to say. On the occasion of this presentation by Yoshihisa of the Luminous engine, and the announcement of the PlayStation 4 from Sony Computer Entertainment, I would also like to announce that we are preparing for development of a Final Fantasy title. Please be excited for E3 this year. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. See you soon. Bye.
Thank you, Hashimoto-san. The Luminous Studio demo running on PS4 further demonstrates the system's graphics and computational power. I would now like to welcome a very special partner and a personal friend. Over the years, Ubisoft has become an extension of the PlayStation family, and their support for our platforms has produced hit after hit. The Ubisoft team is truly pioneering a lot of next-generation gameplay, and I'm very excited by what they have to share with you tonight. Please welcome Ubisoft co-founder and CEO, Yves Guillemot.
Thank you. At E3 last year, I asked you all a question. Who really controls our cities, our information, and our lives? Thanks to PlayStation 4 and our next-gen titles, Watch Dogs, we have the answer. It will be all of you. Next-generation games blur the lines between the real and virtual worlds, more than ever before. Ubisoft development teams have been hard at work with the PlayStation 4 to make gaming experiences that are more connected, more immersive, and more interactive. We are creating games that will be played anywhere, anytime, across many different devices. Games that will bring friends and gaming communities closer together and let you collaborate to achieve amazing things. Games that are tailored to match your interests and can quickly adapt to all your needs. And we are using the PS4's quantum leap in power, graphics, and AI to construct deeper, richer, and more believable games. Players are going to be super excited by the PS4, and this platform will bring millions of new customers. Now, to give you an example of the kind of connected, immersive, and interactive experience, please welcome Jonathan Morin to tell you more about Watch Dogs.
Thank you very much, Eve. Hello, everyone. Finally back on stage to talk about watchdogs. Hyperconnectivity has changed us. It started with computers, mobile devices, and then we all got one of these. Everything about me and the ones I love are on this phone. Now, what's the next step? Smart cities. A system that manages entire cities to solve complex problems. Traffic jams, war against crime, power management. In watchdogs, you're going to control all of it. We've shown this at last year, E3. Everything is connected. But today, I want you all to discover that everyone is connected. I want you all to feel what it's like to control Aiden Pierce and wander around in Chicago, to invade everyone's privacy without them knowing. You're all about to discover that once you can tap into anyone's lives, anything can happen dynamically in front of you. So you're now going to enjoy a full-blown new live demo that will show you that exploring an open world has never been so engaging. So thanks to Nick to perform for you tonight. Enjoy.
Pierce has been identified as the man responsible for all attacks.
The heart of America. Feels like somewhere it must have skipped a beat. People haven't changed, but now everybody's broadcasting. And once you've seen it, all of it, how do you look away?
I'm not gonna let you get away with it.
Don't touch me. I'm warning you.
You don't get to ignore me.
Let me go!
You think you're so special, huh? Fuck off! Leave me alone!
911, please state your emergency. Please, you have to get the cops out here. This man just pulled out a gun and started shooting. Hurry! HOS can't authorize. Initializing search for suspect now.
Get away from me!
Put out an all squad. We're on this suspect. Over.
Police, hands on your head!
squad, put out an all-call. We need backup ASAP.
Thanks, Jonathan and Eve. Watch Dogs on PlayStation 4 will be an amazing experience, and we have much more to share with you later this year. There's another partner I'd like to invite on stage tonight to help illustrate the tremendous support we have for PlayStation 4. This iconic developer is known for making some of the most immersive and creative games anywhere. And this is not only the first time they've been on stage for PlayStation, but the first time they've been on stage for any console. It's my pleasure to introduce Senior Vice President of Story and Franchise Development from Blizzard Entertainment, Chris Metzen.
Good evening. How y'all doing? Good, good, good. Many of you are probably wondering why an old school PC game developer is kind of crashing the big Sony party tonight. I'm very pleased to share with you all that Blizzard and Sony have entered into a strategic partnership through which we will take over the world. Oh, if it were that easy. You know, one of the things that people don't really know about Blizzard is that we actually got our start as a console game development shop. You know, we cut our teeth on making games like Lost Vikings, Rock and Roll Racing, Blackthorn. Thank you. Old school. You could say that console game development really is just in our blood. We're very, very passionate about it. And all these years, we've really played on the PC side of the street. We have held a deep desire to get back into the mix and to bring console players, you know, some of the home-cooked, you know, imagination and adventure that we love to develop. The trick was always going to be how? How do we do it? We spent a lot of time thinking about which of our franchises, you know, could translate to console, which, if any, of our game products could make the jump while still maintaining their accessibility, their playability, their ease of use. We know, in partnership with Sony, that we have our game. So I'm very pleased tonight to announce the game that Blizzard Entertainment will be bringing to the PlayStation 4. Thank you. Diablo 3 will be available for the PlayStation 4 as well as the PlayStation 3. Actually, right now we have a version running on the PS3. It's amazing. It runs well. It looks great. We have painstakingly optimized our control schemes, anywhere from, you know, the entire user interface of the inventory system to player customization, even direct control over your player avatar. So, you know, if some of you have played on the PC side, you're not mashing your mouse into your desk. Diablo 3 has really never been easier to play. One of the really fun things about this version of the game is we've developed a 4-player co-op mode that's full screen. You know, you can kind of sidestep all of split screen shenanigans. If one of the group decides to run back to town, it's just kind of a smooth, seamless play. You can play with your 3 best friends on a couch. It was kind of one of our standby lines. One couch to rule them all. To try and, one way or another, translate some of our gameplay experience from perhaps your home office to the living room. So we thought that would be very, very cool. Coming up, I think in the coming months, we're going to formally debut the game. We're going to have some video. We're going to have playable demos of the thing. We're going to answer all of your questions, I believe, at PAX East. So keep your eyes and ears open for that. We can't wait to show you how this thing looks. It's just been amazing to watch it come together. So I guess I'll keep it short and sweet. I thank you all for your time. We're very excited about this product. We're very excited about our partnership with Sony and what the future has in store for us. Hopefully that's world domination. So again, thanks guys. We appreciate the time being here and just to be here for this amazing event tonight. The PlayStation 4 is looking killer. We hope to see you all adventuring across the darkened fields of Tristram very soon. So thanks again, guys. Have a great night.
Yes, it's me again. Now, there's one more partner I'd like to invite on stage tonight. This publisher is known for making not just some of the biggest video games on the planet, but some of the biggest entertainment franchises in any medium on the planet. They are one of the driving forces behind turning video games into mainstream popular culture. It's my pleasure to welcome to the stage the CEO of Activision Publishing, Eric Hirshberg.
Thanks, Andy. Thank you, Andy, for the kind words. But of course, we couldn't do what we do without companies like Sony building incredible platforms like the PS4 that have brought interactive entertainment into the living rooms of hundreds of millions of people around the world. Activision has supported every single one of Sony's platforms and has created some of the most iconic hits on each and every one of them. And our commitment to the PS4 will be no different. We plan on supporting the PS4 with multiple blockbuster titles from our best developers during the launch window. And we're looking forward to sharing more with you in the coming months. But what I can tell you, though, today is that our developers and our technology teams are uniformly really excited about how Sony is approaching the PS4. We're excited to be a part of bringing the next generation of great games to the next great gaming platform from Sony. Now, there is one developer in particular who we're working with, who we think has been absent from the PlayStation Nation for too long now. And we thought, what better way for us to show our support for the unveiling of the PS4 than to bring PlayStation gamers together with one of the best developers in the world that you haven't been able to play on a PlayStation for over a decade. And of course, I'm talking about the one and only Bungie. Last week in Seattle, we gave the world its first glimpse into our ambitious 10-year project together called Destiny. And Jason Jones, the visionary developer, co-founder of Bungie, and project director of Destiny, wanted to say a few words about why he's excited to bring Destiny to the PS4 and also to unveil a few more glimpses of in-engine footage here tonight for the first time. Take a look.
Hey everybody, it's great to be here. I want to tell you a little bit about what Bungie's been doing for the last few years. After Halo, we ask ourselves the question, what next? What's worth doing? When you have a studio with this much talent, what do you point it at? How could we take a genre that we know and love so well, the first-person shooter, and turn it on its head again? And our answer is Destiny. Bungie's next great FPS. In Destiny, we've created a fantastic new universe for players to explore, full of mystery and adventure. We've built a persistent online world where players grow and customize their characters. And we've focused from the beginning, not just on the great competitive experience that players demand from a shooter, but to make sure that playing Destiny cooperatively with your friends was going to blow your mind. Destiny is going to be amazing on PlayStation 4. It's a great piece of gear. And we can't wait to see what PlayStation fans do when they set foot in our world for the first time.
Thank you. That makes 2 Jason Jones sightings inside of a week, so you'll hear from him again in 2025. Destiny is an ambitious project. It's what we're calling the first shared world shooter. It's something we're putting a lot of creativity and resources behind. We're very excited to bring it to the PlayStation 4. And to tell you a little bit more about it, it's now my pleasure to introduce some of the key leaders at Bungie. Andreas Jenkins, John T. Barnes, Marty O'Donnell, and Bungie's president, Harold Ryan.
Hello, PlayStation Nation. When Bungie became independent, we were really excited about bringing our games to a bigger audience. Our partnership with Activision, and now Sony, will allow us to do just that. Destiny is an ambitious and innovative game. It's a perfect fit for the PlayStation 4. Like the PlayStation 4, Destiny is an online connected experience. Like the PlayStation 4, Destiny lets you access the content you love from multiple devices. And like the PlayStation 4, Destiny is designed to entertain you for years to come. We're proud to announce today that at the launch of Destiny, both the PS4 and the PS3 versions will be available. And even better, we'll be creating exclusive, playable content just for the PlayStation community. We look forward to sharing more details with you in the coming months. And from all of us at Bungie, thank you very much.
Thanks, guys. Needless to say, we're ecstatic to bring Destiny and exclusive content to the PlayStation 4, and we know the Bungie fans will love it. To all of you who have joined us today, whether in the room or via live stream, thank you so much for being here. The arrival of PlayStation 4 presents an enormous opportunity to dramatically evolve the gameplay experience. From intensified power to enhanced social capabilities, to bigger, better, and more immersive gameplay, and a simple, adaptive interface. We believe PlayStation 4 proves that we have more to offer than ever before. We look forward to continuing the conversation.
What we're trying to create are things that people have never experienced, magical moments that they're going to remember for the rest of their lives.
I would like to make a small addition to the team.
You guys, welcome back to the show. Wow, did you see the PS4?
I did not see it.
Did you see the PS? Wait, was that me or did I just miss the PS4? Did you see the PS4?
I never saw it.
You guys,
whoa, we got bamboozled.
We spent 2 hours. I mean, You know, all these tech demos were cool. Unfortunately, they all lasted about... Wait, did you see the PS4?
No,
Okay,
never
didn't.
saw it.
Okay, just wanted to make sure. I thought someone saw it. I really did.
I saw a controller.
I did too, but that wasn't the PS4.
No.
Anyways, everybody watching, thanks for hanging out with us in this live stream. I'm sure you just threw something out the window. Sony did announce officially this is going to be the PS4. We did get to see some hardware in the form of their controller, but what we want to do is really open up the phone lines and have you guys talk to us of your reactions. We don't want to go down the line of everything we saw, but we just want to hear what were your thoughts. The phone lines are open. You guys are blowing them up. So we're going to hang out with you guys for about 15, 20 minutes, talk about a few things. You can ask us questions. I'd love to hear what you guys are saying. Also, you can tweet us with the hashtag CNET Live. I can't believe we didn't see the PS4.
Dude, all day.
All
I was
day.
like, we're going to see the PS4 later. Never
And
happened.
like Bungie's demo at the end was the most succinct.
Yeah.
It was what everyone should have done.
Yeah.
And we would have
What,
probably it would have only been an
guys
hour.
the 4 guys with jeans and sport coats.
Well, that's a trend. That's a game developer theme.
That's
you know?
an E3 fashion style.
All right, you know what, Nathan, our man, he had a question before the keynote started. He didn't even get it answered. But Nathan, you're here with us. Nathan, where are you calling us from?
I'm calling from Jonesboro, Arkansas.
Arkansas, and Nathan has been on the phone for over 2 hours.
Yes.
That's actually the duration of the keynote, guys.
The trooper.
So, Nathan, what do you want to talk about? What are your impressions, your gut reaction to the announcements here, good and bad?
Well, first off, I'd like to say that only every 7 to 8 years I squeal like a little girl, and that's when a new console is announced.
Yeah.
I definitely squealed whenever they first talked about the PlayStation 4. I mean, we knew it was probably coming, but I was really surprised by what they showed.
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of worried about they wouldn't have anything really interesting to show. They'd probably just show, like another Killzone game, another Infamous game, which they did.
Yeah.
But with in the past where you had exclusives like Final Fantasy and GTA, usually only on the PS2 and the PlayStation and whatnot. They kind of lost their groove a little bit with their exclusives, but they're bringing it back up. But what they shown, I was really excited. Like one thing that I was really excited about that I didn't think I would be is The Witness, because I didn't play Braid, didn't really like it, but The Witness looked actually really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And everything else that they showed, I was, pretty astounded by it. I was actually surprised they said when it will come out. It said holiday 2013, but it could be anywhere from like November to December or whatever.
Exactly.
But I was really surprised, and I really liked it. The only thing I can say that I'm still skeptical about is the price point, because we've heard the rumors of $450 to $550 for 2 SKUs. I don't know how much technology is put in there, and I don't know how much it's going to cost, but I think a good starting point would be $400, because that's just, it's not too much, but it's not too little, It's just the right amount for to pack a good punch. I'm really not sure.
All right, well, thanks for calling, Nathan. Just to piggyback on what Nathan said, I do think, although it took us 2 hours to see it, we saw some really cool, amazing tech demos and things that we haven't seen before that definitely made me say, okay, you know what? The graphics capability of this is going to be a next-gen console. So they've sold me on that. The games, that's fine. I do really, as someone who's a gamer who owns a PS Vita, I know there's not too many of us out there right now, but someone who owns the PS Vita, the remote play feature, that's actually going to make my PS Vita useful now. I play a couple games. They don't have many games, but I got excited. I kind of screamed like a schoolgirl there. I was really happy. I did like the point that they said they are bringing their end goal with this whole streaming is to bring the entire catalog of former PS1, PS2, PS3 games to make them available on all platforms. So we're talking about smartphones, tablets, even a network-connected TV. That's the goal, but that's going to take some time. The controller, I'm lukewarm on. I want to see it. I'm not completely sold on it because I don't know if that's actually the final form factor. It might be. I just want to see how they use those features. I do like the sharing. I think that's cool, but it's not going to make me buy a console. So for me, definitely felt next gen. Definitely saw technology or demos that I never saw before. I do like the sharing feature and the streaming stuff, but yeah, that stuck out with me. Steven, did you like? I mean, you're a game guy. What are things that you liked?
I really liked the. I'm sorry. What were you saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Nathan, we love you. We're gonna say bye so we can take some other calls, but we appreciate you calling, bro. Okay.
Yeah, thanks, man. I was into the. I'm not into the share feature at all, but I was into the controller, the way it looked, and I thought it was kind of neat. The PS Vita, it's kind of like a Wii U thing where you could, if someone wants to use your television, you can just play on your Vita. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
And a lot of my friends do complain about the Vita. They're like, oh, I don't really like the touch screen, blah blah blah. But this will make it very useful. And what did you think about it?
I was just I kind of told you what I kind of liked, so I think that I was good to go. I mean, price point, it's going to be somewhere between $400 $500 bottom line. So let's go hit the phone lines. I want to know what people thought about this, your gut reactions, what you liked and what you didn't like, and are you compelled without seeing what it looks like and without knowing a price point? Are you going to buy it? So let's hit up Edward from Omaha. Edward, my man from Nebraska, what's up? Oh, here. Edward, you know what I need you to do? You guys, when you call in, you need to turn down the volume on your computer so then you won't hear the delay. There you go. You're good to go now. Okay, what's up, Edward?
Two things with the game.
Turn down your computer, bro.
We're hearing
I can hear me talk. You need to turn the volume down on your computer and then talk to us on the phone, and then it'll be all good.
From Omaha.
See, I can still hear myself. I just said Omaha. I said Omaha like 10 seconds ago.
There he goes.
I just turned it down. Oh, I was right next to my computer. That's why.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Okay, what's up, Edward?
Since they did the Blizzard announcement, I'm surprised they didn't do World of Warcraft on the PlayStation 4. I mean, it's got the required graphics for it. It'd be really, really rich and really nice. And I have two family members already that play World of Warcraft, and they really love the game. And I'd really love to see World of Warcraft on the PS4. And another thing would be is Square Enix needs to get in collaboration with Disney and create Kingdom Hearts 3 for the PlayStation 4.
That's your personal request. I'm sure they're watching and they're gonna do that.
I mean, it would be perfect.
It'd be awesome.
For the
It'd be awesome.
PS4.
I'm with you right on. I'm with you on that one for sure. So thanks for calling, Edward. I think that he's good with it. I think he's gonna buy one. Edward's gonna go with that. Okay, let's take. We want to show love outside of the U.S. because this is the internet, international. Let's go to Toronto and talk to DJ. What's up, DJ?
You wouldn't need this. Hey, how's it going?
Hey, what's up? So what were your thoughts on what you saw? Happy, sad, annoyed?
I'm amazed. When I saw that face come up,
Yes.
it was just, the closest thing we've seen to real life. And I saw in the comments people were asking or saying stuff like, where's the hardware? Where's the hardware? Who cares about what the PS4 looks like? We saw the controller.
Yeah.
We saw what what the results are. And beyond that, who cares, right? I don't know if you agree.
No. I mean, to be honest, at the end of the day, it's about the technology in the games. It's going to be a black box. I mean, we're making fun of it because if you make people wait for how many hours? 2 hours, and then you still can't even reveal the console or even allude to it or ignore the complete fact of there is no price, then people are waiting for that. Okay, what carrot are you dangling at the end? Are you really just dangling the Bungie carrot, which is kind of what they did? Still cool.
Yeah,
that Bungie's going to be on there.
A blow to the stomach of Microsoft, and I don't know how they're going to take that, especially with 720 on the horizon.
Yeah, I think that one thing Microsoft will learn from this keynote is they won't make it as long. I think
not many game trailers, but I think they're really trying to pave the way for developers, trying to bring in as many games as they can when it launches, because that was kind of the pitfall of PS3 when it first came out, right?
Yeah, I agree. Thanks for calling, DJ. I think more than anything, he made a great point. They're really trying to showcase it off to the developers. I almost felt that this almost was kind of more of like a developer showcase.
Yeah.
The way that they were talking to the audience, they weren't really talking to the mainstream consumer. They're going to do that at E3.
Yeah.
They were talking to the core gamers and the core developers. I made a joke that, on Twitter, are you guys still awake? But I was watching every second of the way, so don't worry. I love this stuff. I think another cool point that DJ made is before the show started, we said, I want to see something real next gen. I want to see the pores of someone's face.
Yeah.
I want to see that rendered with the normal engine, engine real-time gameplay. I know that was a tech demo, but that's what this is capable of. And for those of you who aren't familiar with David Cage and some of his work, if you've seen Heavy Rain, I've been able to see a demo of their new game that's launching on the PS3 called Beyond that's coming later this year. And they use the same technology from Avatar to motion capture people's faces. So we're talking about all those little silver beads that are tracking on your face. There's probably over 100 points where they're capturing real time, taking that data and then putting it in the game. They did that same thing with that old man's face. They just had a much more powerful rendering engine, and I thought that blew my mind.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive.
That was sick.
Yeah.
So
I also thought this sculpting thing that they were doing with the puppets, this thing here.
Yeah,
I thought that was pretty interesting too. I mean, is that a game, or are they just kind of demonstrating what they can do?
What it is the Move was their PlayStation's answer to the Kinect, and it pretty much has not taken off in any way, shape, or form. So Media Molecule, for those who don't know, developer of Little Big Planet, an amazing creative series, found some way to use this one. I mean, I'm gonna really have to see it in real gameplay because, I don't know if I'm gonna take the time to sculpt something in 3D and then make it act. Like, that takes a lot of time.
Well, I mean, it looked like a tool where you can make like a little movie or something, or your own video game. So kind of.
You know what? We got to give a shout out to the ladies. All right, and if this, I got Lisa in England calling us, going international love. All right, Lisa, what's up?
Hi. Well, see, I like the idea of this new controller. I was really looking forward to seeing a new controller on there, but really the only real difference I could see was this trackpad, this new touchpad. But you know what it's like when you game, and you can get pretty heavy-handed, can't you? You're going to end up possibly doing some serious damage to that touchpad, and I'm not convinced. I think it could have been changed,
I think it's one of those things, though, Lisa, and I can understand a lot of people that are skeptical. They don't like how it looks. Thanks for calling, Lisa. They don't like how the gamepad looks, but we haven't actually seen them showcase it and how it's going to work. I know it's going to have some sort of gestures, but I like to give companies a pass until I see the actual execution of the product before I judge it. I'm curious. I like the headphones on it. I like the share button on it, even though some people are like, share, who cares? But the touchpad, we'll have to see how they integrate that. But at least they showed us, some hardware. All right, guys, we're here 5:17 p.m. Western Pacific time. We're going to go all the way to 5:30 to take your calls. So what I'd like to do is let's just lock the phones right. I'll give a couple more calls, but let's just kind of go through a speed round. Tell me when I get to you if you're impressed with what you saw, are you going to buy it, and the thing you like the most, okay? Let's hit up in the NYC, my man Jonathan. Jonathan, drop it on me. Oh, he's listening to his computer as well.
Jonathan, hello.
Jonathan, you got to turn down your computer volume.
There he is.
Turn down your computer volume, and then just talk to us directly through the phone, and then we got you.
All right.
So what'd you like? Do you like it or not?
Yeah, everything was really, really good.
Are you planning to buy one?
My concern is Bungie. What's going to go down with that?
What's going to go down with that?
Developers?
Well, we'll see.
Sorry.
Oh, no.
One of the developers, they said something about cross-platform. So what does that mean? Like, we're going to be able to play with people from the Xbox?
I think honestly that's the goal, right? They're going to sell more units of their games if they can actually build these communities where now with the next-gen consoles, the code and the development cycle is clean enough where they can actually have them cross-talk to each other. That would be a goal. I mean, if someone can master that with a game that really, warrants it, like, those first-person shooters or community-type games, Call of Duty, Halo, things like that, Uncharted, then Killzone, that would be interesting. Obviously, you have specific exclusives that are only going to stay on their side, so let's throw Halo out of it. But Destiny, that game that they showed off, is a new property that could be put on both platforms. So it's really all about the power of these consoles and the way that the game is built in. I think it would be a smart thing to do more than anything. So I don't know. Those are my 2 cents. Are you planning to buy this thing whether or not you know the price right now?
Of course. Doesn't matter what the price is.
All right, there you go, Jonathan. Thanks for calling, man.
PlayStation.
There you go.
Thank you.
All right, Antonio from Argentina. What's up, Antonio? Okay, we're going to need to give one more. Antonio, guys, listen.
He muted it.
Okay, he muted it? Yeah. Okay, one more thing before we start with Antonio. You guys calling. I want to take your calls. Turn down the volume of your computer once we take your call, and then we're good to go, okay? All right, what's up, Antonio?
Hi, I'm calling from Argentina.
Love it. I love it. So tell us what you thought about everything.
Sorry?
Tell us what you thought about everything.
I thought that the crowd wasn't surprised. They didn't get much expectation about seeing the console, but...
You know what? Antonio, we noticed that too, but what we think it was that the sound guys there were turning down the mics when they would clap. So, like, person would come out, they would turn down the mics and they'd turn them up.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of applause.
I do have to agree, though, is that the reality is when you watch some of these tech events, like Google and Apple, they have their employees in the crowd hooting and hollering like they just won the lottery. At this event, they didn't do that. You know, they needed more Sony booth babes. They needed more Sony management to like get crazy. It didn't happen, so that's why it sounded like people weren't that excited. But I thought we did see a lot of cool, exciting demos. It just took forever to get through them. That's all. So, you know, Antonio, quick question: are you planning, based on what you saw, are you sold on buying a PlayStation, or were you disappointed?
Maybe when it's the console and more the technical details, I'll be thinking about buying it or not. But if it's just a new controller or some new updated graphics, I don't know if I would spend like $400 or $500 on it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that sounds good. Thanks, Antonio. Twitter.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Antonio. Bye-bye. Twitter, we love you guys on Twitter for participating in this conversation. I still want to know from you guys, if you use the hashtag CNET Live, were you impressed, not impressed, and why? So what we have here, Wolf Deity. Whoops, let me pull this up over here because, you know, we want to show you guys the love here. It may not be showing up right now, but here we go. We have Richard Castro. He wants to say, yo, Brian Tong, I want to shout out for wasting 2 hours. Was it that bad? I don't know if it was that bad. Okay, we also have Buy Doritos. That just tweeted us Doritos. That's really unfortunate.
Buy Doritos.
Yeah. Lucas, down over here, Lucas Laquera, another overblown event by Sony. Good demos, but nothing amazing, and no console. I would have to disagree a little bit on that. We have Ian Lewis. Hey, it's Lisa from England. Okay, that's fine. Thanks. Greetings from Croatia. I think that I don't want to see the console. I want to cook a little bit. You guys, if I'm going to go to Twitter, you better bring me something better than this. That's horrible. Step your game up, Twitter. My goodness. I'm going to go to the phones, all right? Let's see what we got here. Okay, Stephen, Ohio, you've got some comments on this PS4 shindig. What do you got for me?
All right. Well, I want to say that the sharing clips thing.
Yeah.
How it's not. They made it a huge deal. How it was revolutionary and stuff. Really wasn't that impressive to me. And this is coming from an Xbox fan. So.
No, it's all good, bro. Continue.
I feel like everyone's expectations are pretty high with tech nowadays. So really, I think they should have came out and blown everyone's mind, but they kind of didn't do that. In my point of view, I wasn't impressed.
So were you not impressed with some of just even like some of the I know we're all looking on our laptops, so we're not getting like a direct HD stream, but I personally admit not all the games, but some of the engines, the stuff from Capcom looked amazing. Obviously that rendered old man looked really, really top notch. Killzone, I'm not a big fan of that, but if I looked at like the reflections on the mirrors, the depth of field, the particle effects with the smoke and the fire.
Yeah. I like well, the thing about it is I just got done playing Halo 4, and really the graphics with that, it was like I felt spoiled with it. So I don't know with the whole. I'm sure these graphics are going to be the most amazing. Like it's going to be mind blowing once you have it and you're playing it. Yeah. But the thing with what's going to sell me was what game is going to be able to play Destiny the best.
Yeah.
Is it going to be Xbox or is it going to be PS4?
So we've got a Bungie fan in the house right here, right?
I didn't like the exclusive PlayStation though. That kind of bummed me out.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see what they do about cross-platform stuff. It'll be interesting. I mean, a great developer is a great developer, and we'll see how they settle that out. But thanks for calling, Steve. We really appreciate it, right, man?
Hey, yep, no problem.
Okay, I got a good one, Steven, if you take my screen. So we know that no one saw the PS4, but my man Edwin Anthony said, I found it, the PS4 console. Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
You know what, people, the internet, that's why we love you all. That's why we love you all. Okay, Charles in Pennsylvania. Charles, what's going on?
Charles, hello.
Charles. Friend Charles.
Hello.
Yo, what's up, Charles? There you go. I know you slept through the end of the PS4 keynote, right?
Nah, I've actually been diligent in watching. I'm at college right now.
Oh, okay. In class right now? In class?
On a little bit.
Tell me you're in class right now. No, you're not.
No. I'm in my room. I actually missed out on a little bit because we had a fire drill in the middle of the stream. So
I apologize for that. That might have been my fault. I don't know. But tell us what you thought about what you know and what you heard and saw up to that point. What did you think about this announcement?
Personally, you had mentioned a comment earlier about it being a developer showcase, and I come from the point of view, I side with developers more than anything. I am a gamer myself, but I do side with the developers, and I agree with the fact that if the developers have the tools that they need in order to create the games that they want to create, that way we can have the best experience, and then I'm all for that. And I think Sony is doing a really, really good job. Like, they had that whole the whole video of them interviewing the developers, saying that Sony came to them asking what do they want in the PS4, what features do they want to be able to use, all that stuff. And I think that's really good for not only the developers but also for the gamers in the long run.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that's a great point. So was this PS4 compelling enough from what you saw that you definitely want to get one, or you're like, I'll just wait and see what Xbox does?
I'm a diehard PlayStation fan. I'm a gamer to heart, and the PS4 is definitely going to be something I'm going to buy. It's just that I feel like people are kind of being a little negative because they're looking at this event as a reveal more than an announcement, which it really is.
Definitely. All right. Well, you know what? Thanks so much for calling. We really appreciate it. All right.
Yep. Thanks.
Okay. Let's go check out my Twitter screen because I think we might have found some more compelling stuff. Okay. Rise Morris says poo.
Poo.
Rockwell Silas, I like that name, Rockwell. He says, so let down by not seeing the actual PS4. Took a nap, neat at the end of the keynote, but I'll definitely get one, though. Also, Muhammad Akhtar says, when do you think Sony will release the info for the PS4? Price and release date? E3 is when we'll see it.
Yeah.
E3 without a doubt. All the big players, they have their own keynotes, so you just have to wait till June. I think it's the second week of June. We'll be heading out there. So yeah, there we go. Okay, we're gonna keep on rolling, guys. We have the phone lines. We're gonna lock down the phones now and just get through the rest of the calls, and then we're gonna call this a wrap. Continue to tweet us what your impressions were, and we're gonna take these last final calls. Jeremiah from Nova Scotia. My goodness, Jeremiah, can you hear us?
There is.
Jeremiah was a bullfrog. Hey, Jeremiah, if you turn down your computer volume, you can talk to us. It'll be easier to sync up. What's up, Jeremiah?
Not much, yourself?
Good. So what'd you think of this whole event?
It was okay. Could have been better.
Like from a timing standpoint?
Could have actually seen the PlayStation 4.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of hard to not see it. What did you like, though, from what you saw?
The remote control was pretty sweet.
So you like the actual DualShock controller, how it's all integrated with these different things now?
Yeah.
Excellent. And then
that's going to be quite interesting to figure out.
Yeah, absolutely. They're going to need a lot of tutorials, I think.
Yeah, a lot of them.
I think. All right, that sounds good. And are you in the position where, from what you saw, are you going to buy? You're going to wait till you see what Xbox does? Or are you like a PlayStation guy?
I'm probably going to stick with the PlayStation, so no matter what they do, it's probably going to be in my house.
Okay, excellent. Well, thanks for calling, Jeremiah. We appreciate it. I think the other thing that we didn't see is we didn't hear them talk about any upgraded PlayStation Network service. We talked about how Xbox really has it locked down with Live, and they've done it really great. Yeah. PlayStation did not comment or address that. We might see that at E3 because that might speak more to that audience. I'm not sure, but we just didn't see that. Okay, here we go. Justin, Long Island, New York. Justin, what's up?
How you doing, guys?
Doing good. Thanks for hanging out with us. We really appreciate it.
Oh, anytime. I was just waiting around for you guys to answer me.
How long were you waiting? Weren't you only on the phone line for like 5 minutes? Come on.
No, not bad. Maybe 5 minutes. 5 minutes ain't bad at all.
So tell us what you thought about what you saw today, man.
It wasn't bad. Like you said, we're sitting here for 2 hours watching this. They come out with these great demos, but I got to see what it looks like. Come on, man. Got to see it.
Yeah.
Come on.
It's something that's going to live on your,
Yeah.
It's going to live on your...
You want to know what it's going to look like.
Yeah.
Sitting under your TV, you know?
Exactly.
It's true. I mean, because we've seen a few set-top boxes. Like, I'm not making any personal attacks at the Boxy, but that thing was ugly.
Yeah, like the new TiVo.
That thing was the Sling box. It's like this twisty box.
The Sling box.
I can't put anything on top of that. Who designed that crap? I love the Sling box. It's so stupid. Anyways, all right, cool. Justin, are you even though you didn't see it, are you compelled enough to buy this thing? Yay or nay?
Oh, definitely. I mean, looking at those graphics, especially a lot of people have been mentioning that old man's face.
Yeah.
That was definitely something that probably drew a lot of people to definitely want it, no matter what the price is. You know, graphics are a big part of gaming, and they seem to have it going well on the PS4.
Yeah, I definitely think so. I think if there was any kind of moment that told everyone this is a next-gen console, or this is capable of doing things we haven't seen before, it would have to be that old man's face, although it was a demo, but I know what the Quantic Dream Studio is capable of, and then also the demo from Capcom with their Panta. Was it Panta Ray? Yeah, their Panta Ray platform. It looked really cool. So thanks for calling, all right?
Oh, anytime. Have a good night, guys.
All right, you too. Okay, we're going to hit up Twitter for a few more really in-depth reactions. We'll see what's happening over here. But I haven't even read these, but I'm going to read them off the top of my head. Guillermo Giovetti, they are busy trying to sell phones and tablets. Sony, really? They're not selling phones and tablets, homie. They are selling PS3s right now. That's their bread and butter, okay? Here we go. Let's see what's up here. Okay, I'm not going to show that dirty word. Someone use that word. Okay. All right, Taylor Woodward. It's what inside that counts. Shallow people. I like their consoles for their CPU and GPU.
Yeah.
Very, very sensitive right there. Anthony Woodhouse. I'm 14 from the UK. Give me a shout out. That's not what I asked for. Okay, also Nicholas Kahn, one thing we didn't hear about, and this is a great point. Nicholas, no native backwards compatibility. What will people do with their game libraries? What about used games? Now, I'll tell you right now.
They're going to make you buy them again.
Exactly. They're going to make you buy the digital version. We saw this with the PS Vita specifically, where they kept people thinking that they were going to come up with some sort of program to turn some of your old games and then be able to, or it's PSP Go, excuse me, some of your old games and then be able to purchase them or somehow transfer them to the PSP Go. That never happened. It's not going to happen here. They're probably going to talk about backwards compatibility at E3, but really what I think the message was is that their goal for backwards compatibility is you can buy the old game and we're going to make it a streamable game through our streaming service, but we're not going to do anything else. And that would be par for the course from what Sony has shown me in the past with how they've dealt with previous games. So that was a letdown. One more guy from Twitter. We got Andy with his really scrunched up nose and face and eyeball and all that stuff. That's cool. He says, I was impressed with the interface of the home screen, but I've been informed that they've ripped the format straight from the Xbox. I mean, I think there's a certain point where a lot of interfaces end up kind of looking the same. I just want it to be easy to use. I want it to be easy to use and nice to look at, but I'm not going to complain about that too much. Okay, guys, we're about to wrap up. We have one more call on the line. Ryan, you are our last call for the night. Are you going to come with something like crazy?
No, I hope so. I mean, something that really interested me, you know.
Yeah, so tell us what your thoughts were, your reactions from this whole thing.
Oh, well, I mean, it was kind of lackluster at first. I mean, just kind of a generic, first-person shooter, Killzone, and then a racing game, which I'm not into.
Yeah.
But then they pull out some amazing stuff. Like, I kind of thought Knack was cool. Then they bring out that PS Move, that sculpting thing, which I'm into that as an artist.
Yeah.
Deep Down, which is what I'm super, super excited for, because that looks like it may be a throw out to Dragon's Dogma, which is an amazing new IP from Capcom. I don't know if you played it. But I'm a huge fan of that, and with the new media sharing, because Dragon's Dogma has a pawn system where players get to share their created characters, I'm thinking that will be integrated as well with new uses.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff. I thought the funny thing about the whole game sharing or sharing feature is when they talked about how, if you get stuck at a certain point in a game, you could share it somehow, and then your friend remotely could pick up his controller and finish your game. Who wants that to happen?
I can see actually that becoming very huge on like the message boards, and people are stuck, and they just give up and just let the pros handle it or whatever.
But that's horrible. It's like I can't. I'll tell you.
Do it. Hold my hand. Help me do this.
I'll tell you what game needed that. Okay, I love this game, Assassin's Creed 3. And the end, you had to run through some stupid maze of fire that you couldn't see what it was. And I'm not the only one. I talk to people. Like, it's not a Brian Tong issue, like, I suck at games. Like, it took me 15, and this is the last, quote-unquote, boss confrontation you run. That game needed it. That game was dope, but that ending sucked.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to let them know that. But I love the game.
I'm just afraid that when you're playing the inevitable Dead or Alive beach volleyball and you accidentally hit that share button, that's gonna look bad. That's gonna be bad.
Oh, so the wifey or the girlfriend on Facebook happens to see you playing Dead or Alive volleyball, where the volleyball isn't the only thing that's bouncing. If you've seen that game, I mean,
yeah, that's not gonna work out too well.
All right, Ryan. Hey, man, thanks so much for calling and thanks for hanging out with us. All right.
All right, thank you, man.
Okay, so everybody, this is going to pretty much wrap up our coverage. If you notice, Donald Bell didn't even stay around.
Yeah,
he had to go. It's like there's an empty seat over there. There's nobody there. But there you have it. I'm Brian Tom with CNET. Stephen Beecham running the show flawlessly. Thanks so much for hanging out with the live stream. We'll continue to have more CNET live events throughout the year. Maybe companies like Apple, Google, Microsoft obviously will be doing their Xbox thing soon, and all the other stuff that you can expect. So make sure you guys check out CNET.com. This is where we're going to have our extensive coverage, our breakdown from our editors, video highlights. There were actually highlights. There were a lot of cool tech demos. That's stuff we've actually honestly never seen before, worth getting excited about. But there you have it. We're going to call it a wrap. Enjoy the rest of your night. Eat some good dinner. PS4, we know the name, but we don't know what it looks like. All right, we'll see you guys.